Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week in Newville, Pennsylvania, when a young woman goes missing after a visit with friends, it sends investigators looking in every direction when the answer was simpler and more devious than they could have imagined. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a crazy one today for you. A weird, kind of dirty, weird, twisted type of thing. So it'll be a good one today. So buckle up for that. Hope you enjoyed last week and Marty Tank fell and that whole thing of just, I don't know if that's incompetence. It's not even incompetence because it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Like people were actually corrupt and crooked, and it was just dirty prosecutors and
went out of their way to fuck it
dirty
up.
cops and to get a 17-year-old kid busted. So that was just a crazy one, and one of the few where we still, we kind of know who did it, but we don't really have there's no conclusion on it really. So that's a weird one. But this week, what a wild case we have for you. But before we get to that, just want to thank you first of all for all of your reviews this week. They count. We don't know why. We have no idea why, honestly. We wish we could, but we wish we could tell you something. But Apple Podcasts, that purple icon, give us 5 stars and say whatever you want. I don't know. Say it's getting dark in here and I'm starting to get afraid. It doesn't matter what you say. It just helps drive us up the charts. So you can do that and help us out on the business end. Or you can go to you can go to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports related. And if you've been waiting to listen to crime and sports, or you haven't felt like you didn't know, check this week's out.
Promise.
Guys, if you listen, I'll just tell you right now, you listen to the first 32 minutes of that show, and if you do not like it, then I will, sorry, never again will ask you. Trust me on this. Trust us. Trust us. Please go to Crime and Sports this week, Bernard Boileau, and listen to it, because it is absolutely nuts. Give it 32 minutes of your time.
So much fun.
Give it 32 minutes and you will listen to the rest, I guarantee you. So check that out. We get everything there. Merchandise up all the time, everything like that. Tickets to live shows, if they ever happen, you'll have tickets to them, which would be terrific. They're scheduled, so who knows what's going to happen, but get your tickets there,
Holy shit.
Which is fun, and listen to all that. Also, you should listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday, where we make fun of bad romantic comedies. We're doing Clueless this week, where Sarah will make fun of me for my teenage crush on Alicia Silverstone.
Very popular at the moment.
It is. So
is it one of the, I think it's on Netflix? Or?
I think so, yeah.
It's very popular on there.
Oh, boy.
It's like in the top 10 in the
U.S.
U.S.
Holy crap. Jimmy's been looking at the charts.
Well, I just, that's how I find shit to watch.
That's smart stuff. Smart stuff. So check all that out. If you want to be a producer of ours, and also this, if you're above the $5 level on Patreon, you get access to all the bonus stuff, and there's so much good bonus stuff. You get all the Crime and Sports bonus stuff too, which is kind of rarely about sports.
Yeah.
It's this week we did old personal ads from newspapers, and it was hilarious. And the small town murder bonus this week is amazing. I found small town newspapers from the 1890s, and we're going to check out what's going on then and kind of how things are described. It's insane. I'm telling you.
So much the same.
You want to hear this. It is bonkers. Absolutely crazy. So check that out. You can do that very easily. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports, or and you can have your name mispronounced by Jimmy at the end of the show. And if you just want to make a donation, be a nice person, just for good karma, you can do that over at PayPal. Use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and get that done. And quick disclaimer, this is a comedy show. It's a comedy podcast that involves murder. People die every day, all over the place, including on this show. So we're going to talk about it. What we're going to try to. We make fun of small towns. We're all from small towns. Everybody's town sucks. So relax about your town. We make fun of small towns. We'll make fun of a bumbling police force that'll let a murderer go, arrest the wrong person, like last week. We do that sort of thing. We make fun of murderers because they deserve it. And why not? Screw them. Exactly. But what we try not to do, we honestly go out of our way to try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
There you go.
That's how that works. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time. But if you don't think true crime and comedy should go together at all, you just don't want to hear, then you shouldn't probably listen to the show. And if you do, don't complain afterwards because we warned you. That's the thing there. So
somewhere else with that.
Exactly. There's going to be jokes around things. It's tasteful. Hey, we're going to be like an old pervert and say, hey, we're going to, don't worry, we're going to do it nice and tasteful. You know what I mean?
We got a nice package for you.
So for everybody that thinks that sounds good to you, wants to have fun, I think it's time to sit back and shout, shut up and give me murder.
Let's go.
Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
Hell yeah.
Let's do this.
All right.
We're coming from New York last week, and I wanted to kind of show that the Northeast is very different.
Oh, boy.
Because people, if they live in other parts of the country, they don't have any Northeast experience, they'll think like New York, Pennsylvania, same thing. No, not at all. I mean, Philly and New York are pretty similar, but not really. But they're both cities with the, whatever. Yeah, that sort of shit. On paper, they're similar. Their vibes are much different, but the other parts are way different. Pennsylvania is the Midwest, pretty much. People don't consider it that, but if you're there and it's basically west of Philly, you're in the Midwest.
Oh, boy.
Whether you like it or not. So it's one of those deals.
It's bleak, man.
It's bleak. We've driven from Pittsburgh to Philly.
It's the difference is vast.
You go through it.
It's crazy. You go from city life to city life, and that city life in Pittsburgh is a different city.
Oh, it's a different city.
It's a grimy city.
And I like Pittsburgh too.
I dig it. It's just much.
We
different.
mean grimy in a complimentary way. We like grimy.
It's a steel worker, blue collar grimy.
I dig it. It's a cool town,
fucking
and
great.
I love Philly.
Philly's
it's got the best attitude in the world. So I love that town.
It's a pissed off classy.
I love it.
I dig that.
I love that place.
I like somebody that says fuck while they're wearing wearing a business suit.
I like that. I also like that that's the place where when people shout out shit at our shows and I go, shut the fuck up afterwards, they clap back at me. They go, thank you.
applaud.
Yeah. Because they got told to shut up. You love a place like that. That's like, you know what? I deserved that.
Fuck me.
Yeah, fuck
in
me.
their
That's
business
right.
suit.
Yeah. It's perfect. I like it. This is in Newville, Pennsylvania. We're going to here. This is South Central Pennsylvania. So south of where you drive from Pittsburgh to, so that's bleak land out there. There's not a lot there.
South of the Turnpike.
2 hours and 20 minutes to Philadelphia, 3 hours to Pittsburgh. It's dead in the middle, man. Dead in the middle.
What is south of Pennsylvania? What is that?
There's also
Tennessee?
West Virginia's there, and
that's what it is,
other
basically.
stuff down
Anything
there.
south of that turnpike is
Ohio's to the
may as well be fucking
west.
South Carolina.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's South Carolina and the Midwest mixed in one. Pennsylvania's an odd state.
It's a wild one.
Very odd state. It's about an hour 40 to Weisenberg, Pennsylvania, which is our last Pennsylvania episode 132 from last August. This is in Cumberland County, zip code 17241. It's 0.43 square miles. Little tiny town. And we'll get a little quick history of this here. It was founded in 1790. This is some old shit.
Yeah.
And this is in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, they were just...
As the UK giggles it up.
Yeah, exactly. Old for here. But it took them till 1790 to go, I don't know, wander out in the fields and find something to build a house on. No idea. But it was a church that laid the town out, actually. It was the Big Spring Presbyterian Church laid out the town on their land and sold off the lots.
Right.
So they were like, we have a church there's really nobody here.
Right.
It's nobody for hours on either side. And
Yeah.
back then it was on horses. So, I mean, nobody for days on either side of us. If we want people to come to this church, we should probably build some houses so people can live here.
Or
Otherwise,
a billboard.
Otherwise, it's just if they pass by.
Right.
We're not going to get a lot of foot traffic, I feel like.
That's a good point. Even if we have the billboard and get their attention, there's nowhere for them to stay.
There's nowhere to stay. What are they going to do? Oh, well, just 2 days off to the south. Great. And your horse. Perfect.
It's a 4-day round trip.
Stop by and, just pray for a minute. So the first lots were sold to, a few different people here. A bunch of people named Isaac. A lot of people named Isaac.
Last name?
First name.
Okay.
And then a guy I love, William McGonigal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a great name. The town remained a part of Newton Township until 1817 when they were granted a charter. And the railroad came through in 1837, the Cumberland Valley Railroad. That, of course, made it, viable. Then you could have business because you could ship shit out of there. Before that,
export, baby.
before that, it was pretty rough to get things there. Yeah. They established a post office in Newville in 1800. Exactly 1800. Actually, they were upon being granted, a committee was appointed here once they got their shit together in 1896 to erect a public fountain. They really wanted to erect a public fountain.
Just like a water feature?
A water feature.
Okay.
They really wanted that. This place is huge with fountains.
Oh, James, this is crazy. This is 1800 was when they got their post office. That shit was under charge of Ben Franklin. He was in charge of that shit.
1800? Yeah, there you go.
He would have been the boss of that thing.
Give them one.
That's bananas.
Fine. I don't know. Those people in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
They'll fucking write letters and complain if we don't. You know how they are out there. So they were appointed, a committee was appointed to get contributions and superintend the erection of a public fountain.
Yeah.
Erect that fountain.
Stroke it.
Let's go. That's how you build how you build a fountain.
You got to rub on it.
You got to rub on it. You got to get it erect.
Get a good lick on it.
I got a limp fountain, everybody.
Spit on it a little.
So, come on, help it out. So they got
that helps my fountain.
I mean, what the hell? What are you going to do? Well, they got a grant for free use of water, which will help your fountain too.
Yeah.
And they got they've collected funds and they built the fountain.
Okay.
Whoop-de-doo there. So there was a Mr. Henry Schreffler and his son John and a Mr. Macklin Williams. They dressed and laid a perfect circle of stones to form the base and the pool and all that kind of shit and did that. They had vaudeville and minstrel shows come through as well.
What?
Lots of blackface is what they're saying there. Yeah, this basically all the shows back then were like a bunch of people in blackface, like in the 20s and shit. It was fucking awful. Yeah, just
and then minstrel shows.
That's minstrel shows is not menstrual. Minstrel, that's blackface. That's what I mean. It's like weird.
I don't need any blood paintings.
No, that would be a whole show of it too.
Show.
Wow, that would mean they're doing it live on stage, which would be pretty fucking gross. I don't think anyone wants to watch that. I don't want to watch that.
No.
So they had parades too. A cornet player. The hell's a cornet?
A cornet? I know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I don't know my music.
Is it an air thing like a clarinet?
I don't know.
It's got to be.
There's a guy named Paris Chambers organized a concert band, and then that was there. And then they had talkies right away when the cinema came out with talkies and all that kind of shit. The
cornet is the one that's like angled down with the mouthpiece that comes out of it. It's a metal mouth. I think that's right.
What is it?
It's a horn.
It's
a horn, yeah.
Of some kind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure of this.
That makes sense.
I could be bullshitting and just made a whole story up for nothing, but I think
people
I'm right.
will be tweeting. Don't tweet us. We'll have looked it up by then. Don't worry. So reviews of this town, found a couple reviews. One I found, here's a 4-star review, and even the negative and the positive reviews pretty much describe the town the same way. It's just whether you like that or not, kind of a thing. Here's 4 stars. Newville is a very family-oriented town. I've lived in Newville for a little over 5 years. The community holds family-friendly activities year-round, and for every holiday. Even if you're just passing through, the community will treat you like family, which sounds like a fucking nightmare to me. I'd like to pass through undisturbed. Thank you. I don't need a wave.
Okay.
Say thank you if I buy something. That's about it. Then I found a 2-star review here, and this pretty much says the same thing, except they're not real thrilled about it. This is, quote, very small town, only one red light and like the mile-long drive from one end to the other. Absolutely no real social events / places. Closest Wal-Mart is 20 minutes away. Interstate relatively close, about 5 miles away. You need a car to go anywhere. Okay. So basically the same review that the other guy left, except it's a small, bleak town that people want to get out of.
Cornet's just a trumpet. That's stupid. Just say trumpet.
We're past that. Thank you. We did that 3 minutes ago.
I really gave a shit. I cared.
I don't. People in this town, 1,228, down 9% since 1990. Now people don't have to tweet us though, so that makes it better.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Most of the people here, there's a more 25 to 44 than normal. So other than that, it's pretty average. Less married population because the people are younger. Single with children is a big one here, though. 25% of the people here are single with children, which is way higher than normal. Yeah, so I don't know why that is, but who knows what the fuck. Now, race of this town, 95% white. Yeah. So pretty goddamn white is what we're getting at. 1.6% black in this town, 1.1% Asian, and 0.5% Hispanic, which is as low as I think we've seen.
That's so too.
That's pretty low.
We've had a 0.0, haven't we?
I don't even know if we have.
I swear we have.
I feel like there's always a couple percent.
I mean, on one of the towns where there was like 90 people, it was 100%.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be 100% white. But normal. Over 1,000, 1,200 people. There should be more than that. It's 18% of the population almost are Hispanic, and there's 0.5%, and black for that matter is 12.5% near 1.6. But it's in the middle of nowhere. 53.7% of the people here are religious, which is not surprising, and it's just a mixture: Catholics, Methodists, Lutherans. It's farmlands and shit. There's no concentrated anything.
Is there an Amish community here too?
There's Amish communities all strewn throughout Pennsylvania. Yeah. It's half. That's the other thing. It's like half Amish and half drunk.
Yeah.
Like my relatives live in Scranton. I come from experience when I talk about Pennsylvania. We went there all the time, and everybody there was shit-faced 24/7 while they're driving. They drink glasses of booze, not like a can or like put some in a thing. A glass, a rocks glass with fucking ice in it and scotch in their cup holder while they drive. That's not normal. They all have kegs in their houses.
I do admire the fucking
They really like it.
Though.
They don't give a shit. What are we doing? Who cares?
If somebody handed me... I'm a professional drinker. I can drink pretty heavy. If somebody handed me that shit behind the wheel... Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, what are you, crazy?
I can't do that.
Well, how do you take a sip, too? It's pretty obvious. What is he, got a rock glass? Is fucking Dean Martin over here? What are we doing?
I'm really good at
driving,
drinking, but
sir.
that's not a good plan.
No, I would say not. So it's a little rough here. 0.4% Jewish, so not very many, and 1% Islam, actually, which is unexpected here, to be honest with you. This county it's rural conservative, too. About 38% voted Democrat last time, about 56% Republican, about 6% independent. Unemployment rate and all that stuff is pretty much on point with average. The household income, though, is $39,375. It's usually over $57,000, so that's a little low. All the groups under $50,000 a year or higher.
Really?
So there's more people making under $50,000 a year here, and a lot of manufacturing jobs, which is they kind of come and go, which is also tough based on economy. The cost of living though is pretty low. 100 is regular average par. Here it's 89, which is sort of low, but the housing is only a 60.
Oh, thank God.
So that's good. Median home cost here $139,700.
It's affordable.
That's not. Yeah, that's pretty affordable. I mean, a lot of the houses here are old though.
Yeah.
Built before 1939. Normally it's about 20% of the houses. Here it's 68% of the houses.
My Christ.
Are built before 1939.
Wow.
So you're gonna Amish people fucked in there or something.
The Depression came and they were like, we won't do this
can't
again.
build. Yeah, that's no one was moving there.
That's
probably
amazing.
And the population's kind of stayed pretty pat
Stagnant,
since then.
right.
So there's really no reason to build,
right?
Unless individual people are building a new house here and there. There's no like we're going to build a huge development.
I guess
what?
I guess between 1940 and today, about 30% burning down seems about right.
And then there's that too.
And then they rebuild it.
And they rebuild that. That's funny. So a lot of the houses are between $100,000 and $200,000 in that ballpark. And if we've convinced you, damn it,
wow,
Newville, Pennsylvania is for you. We have for you the Newville, Pennsylvania Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $1,030 a month, which is too high based on the real estate costs. It's not
How
right.
do they even justify? Is everybody's credit fucked here?
I don't know what
that's wild.
I feel like there's probably not a lot of rental property, so you can. That's
Supply
if you're
demand
that's sort of that deal. Yeah, I don't think they're building big tons of apartment complexes. I found a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,196 square foot. It's a trailer that's like on the ground. You know, they put some lattice around the bottom. This one's going to be here a while.
You betcha.
$39,995 for that bad boy.
Out from underneath.
Oh, you know how that works. Now the big ones anyway. The little ones get through the holes. I found a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 296-foot murder cabin in the woods.
Oh boy!
It is a little murder cabin.
296 square feet.
It's fucking scary. It's between two hills. People have
30 by 10
been carved up there, but it's on 21 acres.
Well,
21 acres of like hillside forest and everything. $155,000. That's a lot of land. That's not bad.
I kind of want that.
It's just to go get away from shit.
That sounds great.
That's not bad.
Listen, you could use that as a workshop and just build a place on it.
It's not terrible.
That's a great deal.
I like it, and that's what I mean. I'm looking into that. But I found 155. Let's chip in on it, Jimmy, and we'll see if we can pull it together. I don't know if we can do it still, but whatever. It's still almost a house.
It's an expensive.
No, we're not going to do
expensive, that. James, can you believe we have this land?
Yeah, that's silly. So, not going to work.
I don't know if I can cover this month. What about you?
Let's we'll leave it. Maybe someone out there in our show
just so that we can say we have it.
Jesus. I found a 6-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,564 square foot shithole.
Yeah.
It's a big dump.
Nothing's nice.
No,
here.
Nothing's nice. There's boards over holes in the wall, like on the outside of like the wall, like it's been hit with cannon fire or something. Like
I'm sitting here waiting on fries.
This is the nice one. It's got boards over it and shit, and it looks like I said, like it's been attacked by a pirate ship. $174,000. So you could have that.
For a draft every day.
Enjoy, everybody. Let's see. Things to do here in this town. I found the Newville Fountain Festival.
Oh, they love that thing.
They do. That's what it's all about, is this fountain. They have it's a tiny town.
It still exists, the fountain?
Yeah, they have that fountain. Everything's right around the fountain.
Jesus.
They're into other fountains now. Because apparently fountaining is a gateway to more fountaining. That's the problem. So you got to watch out.
You start admiring other people's fountains.
That's what I mean. It's like tattoos or something like that. It's addictive for a town, you know? Like me, I got a skateboard again. Now I have like 8 of them. That's what happens. You know what I mean? You just get into it. Fountains. Lucky it's not fountains, honestly, because they're more expensive. I get a new board for like $40, but this is different. So it says activities for everyone. Mm-hmm. Come on down. Look at the fountain. That's number 1. Kids Alley. I don't know what that is. It sounds creepy. Yeah. An alley. Come on, kids.
Come on down here.
Right down this alley.
You know how the street lights are
alley. Yeah, no, I don't think so. There's just a clown waiting at the end holding some balloons. Hi, kids. He's a lone clown at the end. Go on down Kids Alley, everybody. Nope. No thanks. Keep the kids away from that shit.
Kids Alley.
Kids
Why
Alley.
would they do that? Nobody had any common sense to say, that sounds creepy.
That sounds
we
creepy.
shouldn't do that.
No, like, that sounds fun. Just, come on, kids. Come on down. It's so fucking weird. And then there's the petting zoo. And they have, obviously. It's probably down in Kids Alley, I assume. Of course, the kids are the ones being pet, but that's a different it's a different kind of alley, I guess.
Pet this kiddo.
You know it. Then there's line dancing.
Oh.
Because another thing you have to understand about Pennsylvania is like southern Pennsylvania in the middle of nowhere, it's pretty much the South.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like Virginia, West Virginia. That's a lot of the kind of the culture there is that. It's like Illinois. You think of Illinois, you think Chicago.
Oh.
Well, go about 50 miles south of Chicago, and you, my friend, are in Arkansas. Enjoy. Have fun.
It's pretty wild.
Because you're in Arkansas
really
now.
is.
It's fucking. You remember Stevie the doctor? That's what it is. That's the fucking. That's Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
It's fucking creepy. So
Catching frogs in the creek.
yeah, frogs. Bass like frogs. Likes frogs.
They loves frogs.
I loves frogs. So there's musical entertainment, of course. We'll get to some bands later on. Baking contests.
Yeah.
Let's get together, pit these people against each other, God damn it.
We got to make you hate your neighbors 360
God damn
days
it.
a year.
It's fucking pitting housewives against each other.
Bitch brought her
That
secret
fucking
brownies.
Bitch, how dare she?
I know there was weed in them. That's why they liked them.
Oh. She makes that same shit every fucking year. I switch it up.
What'd you bring, Margaret? Your ambrosia again?
Wow.
For the 9th year in a row.
Yes, key lime pie. That's you're a real connoisseur.
Really digging deep there.
Yeah. The John Graham Library Book Sale. Sell off the library books when they get a chance to.
May as well.
Agriculture and farming displays. If they're going to show you. This is a display of farming. Watch me pick the wheat.
Just call it what it is. It's a tractor show.
That's what it is. It sounds antique car show.
Oh,
that
okay,
sounds
I'm
fun.
in.
So every one of these has an antique car show.
They always do.
There's always a few old guys with antique cars.
Right.
They're like, fuck it, line up.
I'd like to see how fast and loose they're playing the term antique.
That's
too.
the other
I want to
thing.
see
Yeah.
how old these cars really are.
Yeah.
Just because your truck has a dent in it, it's
Listen.
still a 2001 Tacoma.
I like your 82 Caprice Classic and all, but we're going to relax on that shit.
Just because it's paid off doesn't make it a classic.
Your 79 Mercury Zephyr can chill the fuck
They can
out. You know
stay
what I'm
at
saying?
home.
I think it can relax there. We also have historic tours of Newville. It's not that big, so you can pretty much do
There's
that
the
whenever
fountain.
you want. Fountain. Hey, kids, Big Ben. European vacation. Craft and food vendors, of course, and then raffles there. Now, there's a woman here named Beverly Ikes who they interviewed about this, and she said it's like one big family seeing each other. Oh boy. She said she just had a piece of pecan pie from the baking contest, and quote, it was delicious.
I'm sure it was.
She's very, very there. It says on a typical day, there's only a few restaurants in Newville, but when this cranks up, food vendors fill the streets, and they have all sorts of stuff. This particular year, there were Thai spring rolls, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, Italian pasta in a cup.
So much
which
culture.
Is where I always eat my pasta out of a cup. I don't know why they
right
told
out of
you.
a Dixie
Yeah,
cup.
but I guess they're trying to tell you, like, it's mobile. You're not
Right.
going to be walking around with a fucking plate.
Plate of spaghetti.
And, quote, walking tacos made in Doritos bags. In other words, white trash tacos. They mix shit together
Oh, that is
with
gross.
a Dorito bag and shake it up,
Oh.
and then you walk around and stick your fucking arm in there and get sour cream on your wrist. That's perfect.
That is my
You trashy trash.
bane of my existence. I've seen it in
Disgusting,
7-Elevens where
disgusting
you
people.
get they call it a Frito
Oh,
pie.
yeah. No.
Gross.
Yeah, they
You
love that
open
shit
a
in
little
Texas.
bag
yeah.
and fucking two-hand it.
Nope, not happening.
That's not nachos.
Not doing that. That's what they're advertising.
That's
One of the
not
four things.
that's not walking tacos.
Either that or pasta in a cup, Jimmy. Get your.
Listen, a taco is a walking taco.
That's
perfect.
It's
already done.
That's what I mean.
Why do you got to fuck with it?
What? It's in a container
Right.
that's gone when you're done with it.
Exactly.
There's not like you have. Oh, what am I going to do with this now? I have this. No, it's in there. You
Don't
just eat it. It's gone.
Re-engineer this
No,
shit. It was
it's
done right the first
That's
time.
right. It's like a sandwich. It's perfect. Leave it alone. It's a
like
walking
pizza.
sandwich.
Right.
We're going to put all the elements of a sandwich and mix them up in a bag. There's just bread chunks and pieces of turkey and shit and lettuce, and you just reach in and grab a handful.
Jam your face in that.
Squirt mayonnaise and mustard on it and shake it up. No.
Make a feed bag for a
Fuck outta
sandwich.
here.
It's already done.
God damn it, Jesus Christ.
Fucking walking tacos.
Oh, man. The Shippensburg Swing Band was there, kicking off their shit. They said kicked off their set with a rendition of Earth, Wind, and Fire Celebration, which must have been...
I'm sure it was great.
Set that place on fire. Then they played a set of standards from the 40s to the 70s.
Wow.
Oh, boy. A guy named Gary Hoover loved their versions of Glenn Miller, saying, quote, "That's what I came for." And the quote, "That's what I came for," and the food. Got to have that walking Dorito bag. That's what I came for. Walking tacos and Glenn Miller imitations.
Glenn Miller. Not even Glenn Campbell.
No, Glenn Miller from the fucking 40s.
Right.
Yeah, it's big band shit. Wow.
Jesus.
And then they said at 7 p.m. the crowd sat down in lawn chairs. Laid down. I was like, what the hell? The Colorville, they had a big parade there. Baking contest and talent contests were going on. And at noon the next day, the Rubber Duck Derby kicks off, of course.
Oh, no.
Gotta have that. Then there's the West Pennsboro Volunteer Fire Company's annual fair and festival. Also,
I want to get you to this thing.
You gotta have that.
Cup of Italian, and while you stand there with your mouth open, just shaking.
A cup of pasta in one bag and a bag of taco in the other, just going. You fucking trash. You're all trash as I throw pasta cups at people. Trash!
Oh, Christ.
On this one, they have live bands each night. They have Rick LeBlanc and Bob Kissinger on one night.
Okay.
So buckle up for that shit. The next night, they have the North Mountain Ramblers.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Get rambling. Woo! And then the next night, closing it out on the Saturday show, this is the big one, a band called Midlife Crisis.
Oh, I want to see those
Which
guys.
is a bunch of 50-year-old guys who were, in bands in high school.
Right.
And they decided to...
Singing about how much they hate their wife.
They were only allowed to practice in the one divorced guy's garage. That was it. Nobody else would let them do it at their house. They're like, we could do it at your house. He's like, I don't fucking care. I'm free. What do I care? And he's like, cries himself to sleep that night.
I got a bachelor pad.
I'm doing great.
This is a studio, Gary.
See that fridge in the garage? It's only beer. That's just a beer fridge. That's the kind of life I'm living right now. Oh, God, it's home. Jesus, I'm so lonely. Can we play, please? It's the only thing that makes me feel better.
You wash your hands. Don't use the towels. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what I mean? And then I got to wash them. So I have a review of this particular event.
I can't wait.
From Deb, Lautenschlager, I think, or some shit. I don't know. Old Deb here left a review, and it says, at your fair, the food, it's like a message to them. At your fair, the food was cheap and delicious. Bingo was fun. And I like the game where you buy tickets to see if you won money. A raffle.
Right.
I like that game. What do you call it? Never heard of that before.
That thing that's like your lottery?
Yeah, what the fuck? It's a goddamn raffle, you fucking
That's the game I like.
I know for a fact there's a raffle. Wow. People were friendly. People were friendly, it actually says. I wish I was a member, but I can't help much. Can't afford to be a member of the volunteer fire department.
Oh, boy.
Don't know.
This lady.
So she wants to join up, but she doesn't have the time. Now I see what
you mean, because you could write that same review in like an angry you know what I mean?
It's the same thing.
The exact same thing.
Same thing.
I hated this because of these things.
It's Midwestern vagary, basically, where they're like, did he just insult me?
I can't tell.
But if I said something, he'd be like, no, because that's what they do.
Is she saying this shit sarcastic because she doesn't like our raffle? Is that what she's saying?
That's what she don't like it. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested in, of course, here. Crime rate, property crime is just under the average. It's just about average, though. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is less than half the national average. So it's under half. So it's pretty damn, geez, not a lot of people.
Right.
You'd have to be a psychopath to be killing people when you have room.
Right.
Like, what are you killing over? Relax. Yeah. So
it seems like in these towns when it is small enough for everybody to know each other, that stat is really low, but it's because of that fact. Everybody. Everybody's a fucking suspect.
And that's the other thing. It would be harder to get away with something because what are you going to do? Drive over to Bob's house and then all Bob's neighbors are like, oh, Jim's car was there. I've seen it. Yeah, he drives the green fucking Ford. I know that one. Like they all know everybody.
Right.
I saw him here. Everybody saw you. It's not just like, I don't know who the fuck it was.
May as well be sitting in the living room with you while you stabbed him.
No, it's Bob. I got his address. You want his phone number? I got it right. You can call him up. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Right. They're all nosy and know each other, so it's not going to go well. So let's talk about a murder.
All right.
It's time.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News & World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, it's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Get into this here. Let's do it here. Now, let's start in Virginia. This is in northern rural Virginia. We're talking farmlands, rolling hills, shit like that. Absolutely beautiful, besides the fact that a body was found. A tenant farmer on somebody's farm notified police about a suspicious vehicle on a property that they had that wasn't supposed to be there. There's an old car, abandoned
Mercury
car.
Sable back here.
Get that Zephyr we were talking about. So he calls police, and police come. He says, "Can you come tow it away or whatever?" Mm-hmm. So they end up coming, and they want to tow it away, except in the trunk they find a partially decomposing body of what appears to be a young woman, wrapped in a canvas tent and stuffed in the trunk of this abandoned car. And this person is still has a mouth gagged and hands bound.
Oh, no.
So this is clearly not an accident.
I got bad news for you. This car ain't going anywhere for a while.
They're going to keep it here for a minute.
You didn't want this to leave. Now it's got to.
Well, we're going to hang out with it for a bit.
It's, we're going to be here, too.
Yeah, we're going to tow it away eventually, but then you won't be able to come over here for a little bit because this will be a crime scene. So sorry about your soy in this area. It's not going to quite work. But apparently some poor young woman has met their demise in the trunk of a car, bound, gagged, and wrapped in a canvas tent.
Awful.
Which is not the way you want to end your existence here. And so they're trying to figure out who this is. It's in an abandoned car that's like an old rusted out car that clearly doesn't like belong to someone. It's not like, well, run the tags, whose car it is. Right. There's no way to do that. It's one of those things. So let's talk about some people here.
Okay.
Let's talk about some people, talk about a couple young ladies, talk about a young man here. We'll get into some stuff. Let's talk first about a young lady named Leslie Ray White. Okay. Leslie White. She's 18 years old in the summer of 2000. Okay. Summer of 2000, just graduated high school the year before. Well, not the year before, a couple months before. Graduates high school in Pennsylvania, and she begins working, lucky her, in the photo shop of a Wal-Mart store near Mechanicsville. It's in Silver Springs Township.
Jesus.
So that's but I mean, hey, she's planning on going to college. This isn't her career.
Obviously.
This is we'll talk about people who this is their career, this isn't her. This is a summer job for her to make a little extra money, and she wants to be a photojournalist. She's studied photo, and she's majoring in that in college. So anything that has to do with photos is what she's all about.
That's her bag.
So a photo shop here, it's whatever. She can learn a little more about developing, I guess. I have no idea. A skill that will be completely obsolete in about 10 years from then.
5, shit.
5, yeah.
Wait till Photo Bucket starts, lady. We won't need you.
Well, back even like 2005, still like your phone camera sucked.
Yeah.
Like you'd still have a camera, shit like that. But now it's like your phone camera's like
much better than any
it's a
camera.
Crazy, your phone camera's a crazy camera now. So it's a totally different thing.
It's better technology than like Amadeus was shot on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a great camera.
So now she lives at home with her parents. And, just graduated high school.
Yeah.
For graduation, her parents had bought her a couple of presents. Number one, they bought her a brand new black Jeep Cherokee.
Wow.
Which is a hell of a graduation present.
Sure in the fuck is.
That's a nice graduation present. These are nice parents.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Jesus
wow.
Christ, can you imagine that?
No.
That's what I said. No.
Oh, my God.
Jesus
Something
Christ.
with a computer in it? That sounds great.
2000, that's great. Those Cherokees are nice, too. The black. Cool car.
It's a nice one.
Badass for an 18-year-old girl. Good for you. So, she drives that, and also, she drives that to work. She also goes to her classes at the Harrisburg Area Community College as well, where she's a freshman there. She starts at the end of the summer of 2000. And she's studying photojournalism there. She wants to, do a couple years there and then go to a bigger college. And that's her plan, basically, to get out of this town.
Hats off to you people.
That's right, man. So she really, really was into art and photography at the time and was, studying that. She had an expensive camera. Her parents bought her the year before for her high school class. It's about a $600 camera.
Jesus.
So, a real fancy...
Her parents are killing it.
They're being good parents here. Yeah, they're taking care of this kid, which is that's awesome. A Cherokee.
Can you imagine?
No.
Your parents giving a damn?
Not like that.
That hard?
We bought you a new car. I'm like, what?
I got you a $600 piece of something that you love. What?
I wouldn't believe the new car. I'd be like, what's going on here? This is bullshit.
That's one of yours. I get it. You're trying to get a response.
Are you fucking with me?
Right. You're trying to get a reaction out of me.
Where'd you get that?
You guys are going to start laughing because there's it's actually a friend's car.
That's nicer than anything you have. Right. So why do you have that? Let's talk about that.
We got to report this to the government.
Yeah, this is weird, man. So, she does. She's doing well, this kid, right? So her first day of employment at Wal-Mart was on August 2nd, 2000. So, take a month off and then you get a job, or perhaps she's probably looking for a job through July.
Probably.
Found a job, and, start in a week or so. It's Wal-Mart. They're not like, start tomorrow.
Right.
Got to go through some shit. Right. So she goes to employee orientation there that day, August 2nd, 2000, and she meets a young man.
Oh, yeah.
A young man who was also starting work that day at the store, a young man named William Houseman. Okay. Billy Houseman here. He's 23 years old, so he's a few years older, but, who doesn't like a 23-year-old who's just starting with them at Wal-Mart, and it's things can go on, and they become friends. Okay. At least they're both younger. They're within the age range of, if it's you guys and, some 38-year-old woman and some 50-year-old guy, you guys are going to talk probably. Absolutely. Or the same age range. So they started working that day, and also working at this store is a woman named Beth Ann Markman, I'm sorry. She's 34 years old, Beth is, and she works at the store as well, and she kind of talks to them, and they kind of hang out, basically. Okay. That's how it works. Now, she does the photo lab stuff. White, and Houseman is a bicycle assembly man.
Oh, Jesus.
That's his job.
A tough gig.
Put together bicycles. I knew somebody who did that at Toys R Us. That was their job, was just building bicycles at Toys R Us.
It's only a couple of wrenches, but it's fucking painstaking.
Oh, it's dick. Oh, he fucking hated it. He said it was the worst thing in the world. I would hate to, if I have to build something with instructions, like let's say one time I got an IKEA desk, I swear to God it took me 12 hours to put it together. I laid it on the floor at 11 in the morning. At 11:30 at night, I was still trying to figure out the finishing touches of it. I'm not even kidding. I'm terrible with instructions and things like that.
I can see how things are engineered and see how they go together, but I don't understand the order that they go together. No. And I feel like a dummy when instructions are telling me how to do it, because then I'm just like, you're going to fucking preach to me? I can handle a bolt. I can do this.
And I'm going...
And I always put steps in before other steps and then have to take the shit back
that's
apart.
My problem, is I'm taking things apart, not because I tried to get ahead of myself, just because I did it wrong, because I'm bad at it.
Well, shit, this is backward.
That's what I would do all the time. Oh, well, this goes on. Well, fuck, why didn't you tell me that before?
Right.
I get so fucking mad. So I am terrible with this shit. So if my job was to finish that, you have no idea the sense of accomplishment after 12 hours of building a desk. I felt terrible about myself that it took that long, but I was like, I'm never putting anything together ever again.
It's done.
And I didn't do shit for 2 years with anything. But now, if I had to finish a bicycle and then be like, and then go, start on the next one. Nope. I'd take the chain out of the box that it comes in, and I'd hang myself with it right from the fucking display rack. Right there. That's where you'd find me.
I realize that it's not necessarily just me that does it, but when watching my stepfather put together a barbecue grill, James, it took him 11 hours to put together a barbecue grill.
Wow.
And that man was a mechanic.
Jesus Christ.
He just refuses to do by the book.
So he's trying to put it together freehand first, then he's like, what the hell are they saying about it?
Well, this isn't right.
Oh, well, that bolt doesn't go there. That's why. It's like, you didn't engineer it. It's not an insult to look at the instructions.
He's like, how come the fucking basket doesn't work? Now, you can't get the actual grill. Oh, because I have to take all this shit back apart and build it around it. That's why.
See, I've only bought one new grill, and I had it assembled because I'm like, there's gas involved in this. If I fuck this up, I'm going to blow myself up.
It's just one hose.
There's still if I mess it up, I'm going to be shooting propane everywhere with flames. This isn't safe. I'm not going to be the guy to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm going to get somebody who knows what they're doing here. If a desk falls apart, whatever. But
I'm going to take this box and take it back to the other guy that this is his job all day, and he's going to look at it and go, great, another fucking grill.
Good. Well, that's what you get, motherfucker. Enjoy. That's his problem. You know what he can do? Buy a grill and have someone else put it together. So, this sounds like a nightmare, putting bicycles together.
It's not an easy thing.
So, White and Houseman here, Billy and Leslie, strike up a friendship. Yeah. They have a friendship, they're hanging out a little bit, and eventually they start hooking up a little bit. Becomes romantic in nature, as they say. Yeah. And that happens with young people who are hanging out. They're in close quarters and quickly. Yeah, they're looking for people. Everybody, you're young. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? So, she thinks she found a decent guy that she works with to hang out and kind of have a boyfriend there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, everybody's fine. Now, they would sometimes show up at work together, if they were hanging out the night before and things like that. Leslie would be driving because she had the cool car.
She's got the car.
She's got the Jeep, you know what I mean?
She's got an extended warranty.
Yeah, she would take him home sometimes. They'd leave together sometimes if their shifts corresponded. And then she would drive sometimes when all the coworkers would go out during break to get something to eat or something. She'd be the driver. Yeah. She's proud of her car.
Sure.
And one time, Leslie drove him to her house, but she just ran in and got something, and he didn't go in and like meet her family or anything like that. Because it wasn't like a serious, they weren't engaged or anything. They were just hanging out. They're just kids that work together that are, kind of hanging out.
And that's fine.
Yeah, having a little, that's what you do.
If my kid lives at home and she's got somebody in the car, bring that motherfucker in the house. I don't know who you're
I
around.
agree, but I don't even know if they knew that he was out there. I mean, it's because an 18-year-old kid like that's going to college and has a job, she's kind of got her own little life, and
she wants it that way.
She wants to have a little bit of freedom, and who knows if she wants every guy she talks to, she doesn't want to have to introduce to her fucking mom. You know,
and it sounds like her parents seem to be pretty cool. Because they're not like me.
That's the other thing, and also it might be that she's not real, exactly proud of this guy either, and not serious about him is another reason why. I mean, if she's serious about him, she's gonna be like, I really want my parents to meet you.
Yeah.
Every girl I've ever known that's like really into me, they want me to meet their parents.
Yeah.
They want, and it's vice versa.
Yeah.
You want to introduce them to people. Look what I found. Isn't it great?
Show it off.
Yeah, hey, look at her. Isn't she wonderful? Hey, look at him. So eventually, though, they're hooking up and shit like that. So that's the one time, though, he was at her house, was just in the car. Now, the only sticking point, because this sounds fun. I mean, who knows where it goes or when they break up? Who cares? You know what I mean? Just kids.
She's 20.
She's 18. He's 23.
Oh, that's right. She's that much younger.
She's 18. He's 23. So whatever. She's just having a relationship. And the thing she doesn't know, though, is that Houseman has also been with Beth Ann Markman for 2 years.
The 36-year-old?
The 34-year-old that also works at Walmart.
Okay.
That's
a real relationship.
That's 2 years they've been together.
Boy.
They're steady. They're not just having some fun on the side.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's a little sticky. Not only have they been together, he lives with her.
What?
In her trailer in Newville.
Oh, my word.
So they live in a trailer park in Newville.
Yeah.
And,
So he's going with 11 years older
and
also
5 years younger. Yeah.
And expecting that one that's 11 years older to not be like, what the fuck, man?
She's going to pick up on this. Yeah. And the younger one, though, she doesn't know they're together. She doesn't have any idea.
No clue.
She doesn't know they're together. She just thinks you've met a nice guy and it turns out he's got this relationship with her. Not only they live together, for Christ's sake. I mean, I guess Walmart's a big place.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't work in the same department.
It's a pretty large store.
That's what it is, too. The departments seem like they would be very disparate as far as...
It's almost not even walking distance, some of those stores.
I know. Give me one of those old person carts. I really got to do this. So
going to get a gift card, and they're where are the LOL dolls? And they're like, back there in that corner. I'm like,
never mind.
She'll be all right.
I'm good.
Fuck it. It's just her birthday.
She'll be fine.
She'll get over it.
Jesus Christ.
Give me another one of those gift cards.
She has a lot of dolls. You have gift cards by the register, right?
Can I get one more of those?
Perfect. So, yeah.
Or walk that one out.
Oh, no shit. So 2 years and living in a trailer, which is the peak of romance. If obviously you come home from Walmart to a trailer with that's what could be more romantic than that? You take off your blue vests together, throw them down on the bed, and then the sparkle hits your eye. Or maybe it's that little stupid smiley face on the vest. You see that and you're like, ooh, I know what's under that smiley face, a titty.
They went away from the smiley face and now it's just like an asterisk.
Yeah, it's whatever the fuck it is. Thing. But this is 2000, right. So they have a smiley face. That's what I was picturing on the thing. So,
what's that you got there? New rollbacks? Come here and roll that back.
Come on, I got something you can roll back. My parents didn't circumcise me. So now she's 34.
Yeah.
Works at Walmart.
Yep.
And is also on probation.
Oh, my God.
For...
This couple's great.
You know what I mean? Yeah. For an arrest for bad checks.
Okay.
So, I mean, a 34-year-old chick who lives in a trailer and writes bad checks and works at Walmart she's not killing it, let's just say. And she has a 24-year-old boyfriend or 23-year-old boyfriend who's banging the 18-year-old from the photo department. Right. So life could be better for everyone involved. Yeah. For everyone, honestly. Yeah. Except for maybe him. He's doing fine. He's done nothing.
Seems to be crushing.
He's done nothing to earn it. He lives with a woman. He doesn't make enough money to live, but he lives with someone and he's banging multiple women of various ages.
And one with plenty of prospects and her whole life ahead of her.
So, I mean, whatever. There's hope in that.
Yeah.
There's hope in there. So,
granted, it's liberal arts, but whatever.
Yeah, it's photojournalism. Yeah. Good for her. But she's also a real smart kid. Like, she's a smart person, Leslie. So, anyway, Beth ends up discovering that this is going on after a while, which she discovers emails. This is like, you got to really fucking, back then it wasn't like he had a phone and it didn't have the code on it. He had to leave like a computer open with his email open to.
Why are you emailing?
That's the other thing. I guess for phone calls, so the phone calls show
that he's all up to speed with technology.
Yeah, I feel like people thought back in like 2000, they thought they were slick if they were emailing. Like, no one will ever see this. This is my email. They won't hear me on the phone. I'm smarter than that. They don't check my phone records, because a girlfriend or boyfriend will check phone records if they're suspicious or something back then, when they used to list every fucking call on your thing. So, she found the emails between Leslie and Houseman, and she is fucking pissed. Yeah. She tells Houseman to end the relationship with her immediately, right now, and then told several friends, Beth does, and also coworkers all around Wal-Mart, that she had full intentions of kicking Leslie's ass as well.
She's going to beat up an 18-year-old?
She's going to beat up an 18-year-old over a dirtbag who puts bicycles together and fucking freeloads off of you in your trailer.
He's my Huffy mechanic.
Yeah, he puts together my BMX. Like, no.
Fuck. Calm down with your Murray.
He's gonna get my GT Pro Performer. He's my mongoose, man, and don't you ever forget it, motherfucker.
Mongoose man.
Those are some 90s bicycle brands if you're a kid in that era. She's gonna kick it. He doesn't seem worth kicking an ass over.
No,
he seems like you kick him out of the trailer, and then maybe make friends with her if she's decent, and be like, isn't he a scumbag?
Right.
Tell her that he's a scumbag.
Make him pedal his ass on down the road, and then go make friends with her.
Yeah, I bet he's a phenomenal bike rider.
Forget it. He's got a never mind. I just see like a mechanic with like those patches that
like a coverall with patches
that they took courses, and he's got like Schwinn certified on his chest.
Yeah, the coveralls with no break in the pants and pants and shirt all together with a zipper on the top part of it. You put it on all at once, and he's got like a Schwinn thing here.
It's like an airplane, like a fucking pilot, like a fighter pilot suit.
And now I picture him with like greased hair.
Now I see why everybody wants to fuck him.
Filterless cigarette hanging out of his mouth while he's like doing a wrench up. I'll have this for you ready in a second there, buddy. Just crank.
Couple of brake pads in his pocket.
The bottom of his cuffs rolled up, kind of too high.
It's a little warm in here.
You know what I mean? You know how it goes there.
Sounds hot as shit.
He's on one of those fucking, what are they? The rolly thing under the car, and they're putting a bike together. He's cranking something on that for some reason.
He's
with a 20-inch Huffy above him.
on his back to put a pedal on.
Yeah. Rolls out. Hold that, I'll be with you in a minute. Yeah, I'm just finishing up. Crank, smoke hanging out of his mouth.
I'm down here putting beads on the spokes.
Just totally picture it.
Making noise.
Someone comes in the bell. Ring. I'll be right with you.
They got to ring a fucking bicycle bell.
That's the bell. It's a ring.
That is great. Oh, boy.
So, about a week after the email incident, co-workers noticed that Beth shows up at work with bruises on her face, on her eyes, on her neck, which she says was a fight they got in. That Houseman did this. They got in a fight over the emails, but that was a week before. So, I mean, obviously something happened. She was in some kind of fight, but I don't know if it was over the emails.
Listen, man, those emails are going to come up for a long time.
You know what? She's probably.
That's going to be 3 years from now. There's going to be a fight, and they're going to go, what happened? Remember those emails?
He's one of those guys that's like, I've heard enough about the emails, maybe, or something. I don't know.
I brought up the emails again.
Either way, not cool.
No.
Now, on one occasion, Beth called Wal-Mart while she wasn't working to speak with Leslie. And we don't know exactly what was said, but other coworkers know that at the end of the call, Leslie hung up the phone and ran away crying.
Oh,
so,
no.
apparently it wasn't a nice call. It wasn't like just calling to introduce myself. Right. We met at work before. By the way, this dude's a dirt, blah, blah, blah. I think it was more like, you fucking little bitch, I'll come over there and kick you in the twat. And,
Had nothing to do with her 3x4 glossies.
That's what, I was going to say. I'm going to drown you in fucking development fluid or something. I don't know what she's threatening her with, but
unreal.
She's threatening her pretty good, apparently. Also, after, I guess, Beth had stopped working at the store, at some point here, Houseman gets fired, by the way, too, for being not a good bicycle repairman.
For forging his Schwinn certificate.
That's what I mean. Well, you'd only get fired for one of two reasons. Yeah. Either you didn't put enough bicycles together, or kids got hurt bad. Right. There's the only two reasons.
You either didn't do it enough, or you did it terribly.
Not at all well. One of the two are the only reasons to get fired from that, right? What else could you do?
It seems like it.
Well, what else could you do, really?
Your quota or your quality.
One of the two. So, I don't know what else. What are they looking for at Walmart? I mean, honestly.
I don't know. Somebody that won't bitch about not having health care.
Yeah, you're good, right? Okay. How you feeling?
You
okay?
healthy?
There you go. Good job. Stock this. Be here again tomorrow. So, and we're on your side if you work at Walmart.
Exactly.
We're not making fun of you.
Bullshit.
We're saying that Walmart's
a fucking place.
A fucking cabal of assholes that treats you poorly, and we don't like it.
And they're all at the top.
Yeah, exactly. People who make a lot more money than any of all of us.
Ugh.
So Beth also, one time after she stopped working there, Beth visits the store looking for Leslie. Where is she? Where is she? And then apparently, I don't know if Leslie wasn't there, if she was on break, well, not her shift or whatever, or if they were just like, hey, go in the back, fucking crazy bitch is here, and she's after you, basically.
Hide.
Yeah, hide. But apparently, she didn't get a hold of Leslie on this trip and ended up just leaving without incident. She didn't like tear up the photo stand and then leave, I don't believe it. Knock over the big Kodak display.
Right.
I don't think that happened. So
a couple of Fujis through the wall.
Yeah, fuck this. So, but that's around that time period, Beth did tell a friend of hers that, quote, if she ever got her hands on Leslie, she was going to kill her.
You can't say that.
You can't just go around telling people that. But I think trash does that.
Yeah.
That's a trash thing. Like, I've known a lot of people who are like hardcore white trash, and they'll just say shit.
Yeah,
you know
wild.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like the wild and wonderful whites of what, except they actually shoot their uncle in the face. But most people, these people are like, I'm gonna fucking kill him, and I'm gonna do this. It's like it's just you're ineffectual, and you feel that, so you're trying to project strength. Well, I get it.
In 2000, also there was a lot of that phrase being thrown about. Like 12 Angry Men. You know what I mean? Like where they got him mad, and he goes, "I'll kill you," and they're like, "Will you?" It was very. I said it a lot then, but I meant like I'm gonna fuck somebody up. That's really the phrase that I meant. But
that's what I mean. She didn't say I'm going to A, B, and C.
Right.
I'm going to do this and that and dismember her and take her to a fucking
a vague
a gully and toss the parts down and then to make an alibi. This is just I'm gonna fucking kill that bitch.
Right.
Like people say that kind of stupid shit all the time. She also though, this is not smart. If you're gonna you can tell your friends and you can talk shit to your people around you, but she had a meeting with her probation officer, a woman named Nicole Gutschall, and Jesus Christ, she told the fucking probation officer, this is probation officer, how's your life going? Yeah. She said, well, I caught my shithead scumbag boyfriend cheating on me with this girl named Leslie, and if I can't catch him cheating again, I'm gonna fucking kill that girl.
Did she think this was a counseling session?
Probation officer's like, so no drugs in your system? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So you're saying it's not going great?
Well, yeah, you can't tell your probation officer that's insane. Why would you fucking do that? Who out of everyone in her life, if there's one person she shouldn't have said that to, it's the probation officer. Right. And she's like, I'm gonna fucking lay it on the table. So imagine how many people she was saying this to if she told the probation officer. Right. It's just part of her like routine at that point. Hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, what's a nice weekend? That's good. I'm gonna kill this bitch if I ever see my scumbag cheating boyfriend with him again. Have I told you that? Jesus Christ. So this keeps going on, kind of a back and forth. Are you cheating on me? Oh, I'm not cheating on you. Of course not. And all this type of thing. Apparently, though, when Leslie found out that he was with Beth and Beth is threatening her, Leslie broke it off and wanted nothing to do with him anymore. Yeah, she was like, no thanks.
Hey, heard you got a girlfriend.
Yeah,
she's older and she throws hands.
And she works here and she threatens me. This is fucking crazy. You said you were like, I thought you were just some dude. Like, this is ridiculous. So she breaks it off with him. So, Beth gets her wish anyway. Not that I'm sure William wouldn't be out there with whoever the fuck he found. Right. I feel like Hausman's a bit of a dirtbag here.
Yeah.
And when we hear about his history, you're like, yeah, I could get that.
Seems like you need somebody a little more discreet, though.
I would, yeah, I mean? Yeah. Well,
something on the slide that's
let's
not
see.
like...
If you're going to cheat on your girlfriend, maybe don't do it with another person from the same job you both work at. Maybe that's a step in the right... Yeah, like... maybe try the Target down the street. See if you can get somebody in there. And
what do you think this is, a restaurant?
Yeah, come on. Jesus. That's expected at a restaurant. This is Wal-Mart, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, higher standards than fucking everybody.
Good Lord, when you live in a trailer with someone, that's a commitment at Walmart, damn it. Your shit together.
Need to head over to the jewelry department, get yourself a ring.
This is really a one-stop thing. I like that girl in the photo department. I'm gonna head over to jewelry and marry that girl. I'm going now. I don't give a shit.
She can be our own wedding photographer,
right? honey, can you take a selfie? Probably because you're gonna want to see yourself in that dress.
The first bride and groom with selfies only.
Just a fucking blurry one that someone's grandmother took. She didn't focus it. Damn it! She just had to click the middle. I said, just tap it, it'll focus it. She didn't do it.
She was drunk again.
So October 4th, 2000. So this is a couple months after she started working at Walmart. So in 2 months of this, she's had William and on and off, and then she breaks up with him, and all this has happened, and it's kind of settled down for a couple weeks that they're not together and everything by October of 2000. So busy August and September for everybody here. Now this night, they said she wanted to break up with him, but they would still talk because young people do that. It's a hard thing to, and especially if you're the only person you're hooking up with, it's like, well, I mean, I still kind of like the guy.
And we can still be friends.
And that's the other thing too. That's fine. So she gets a call that night, Leslie, October 4th, saying that it's Hausman, and she's saying that her father died. Or his father died, not her father died. How would he know? No, he's calling her. I'll let you know your father died. They told me they tell the bicycle department first always. They notify us in case we need bicycles for the procession, obviously. But then after that, they notify next of kin. I just said, I'll take care of it. No, it's, his father died, and he calls her and says, my father died, and I'm in a bad place, and, this is fucking horrible, and, basically, can you help me get over this? Can you be with me and just kind of, that sort of thing. Comfort me tonight. Yeah, I need somebody here. Okay. Yeah.
My girlfriend's a bitch. You know that.
You know that. She's crazy. So at the same time, this has all been going on in the last week. Hausman and Beth made plans to move to Virginia to make a fresh start, move away from this girl and Walmart, and just let's get to a new because that'll change everything. That's like they might as well have said, let's have a baby. Right. That'll it's the same amount of time of this that'll fix it for.
Let's have a baby and buy a bigger house.
Yeah, that'll fix it for about a year and a half, and then it'll be shit again.
You'll be so busy working to try to support this shit, you'll forget all along that you're fucking miserable.
That's what it is, and they're going to move to Virginia to just fresh start because that's obviously the environment that's causing the problems, not the fact that they're both assholes.
Volatile as shit.
Yeah, so she becomes suspicious though. The week before, in the beginning of October, Beth becomes suspicious that Hausman has not ended his relationship with Leslie. She's very suspicious of this. As she would be because he's a cheater and she knows it now. So obviously she's going to have her suspicions. Now Beth drove her car, drove both of them. She drives this is October 4th. She drives Hausman and herself to a local store called Sheets. Yeah. With a Z. I don't know.
Where they get sheets?
I don't know.
Or is it a bar?
That's what I mean.
Get like 3 sheets.
They call it a sheets store. Oh. But with a Z. I don't know. Like Urban Sheets?
I guess.
Yo, motherfucker, get sheets right here. Like the commercial. It's like one of those terrible, it's like a fucking 48-year-old balding white guy, like doing like bad, like
appropriations.
Hip it to the hip hop of the fucking rapping and shit, and badly. He's just got he's got khakis, a polo shirt, but like a backward sideways hat, and he's like, "Hey, come get your sheets.
Right.
I'm from the streets."
You'd think Walmart would close this shit down.
I would hope so.
Get your fucking Better Homes and Gardens over at Walmart. Why do you need this shit?
So, well, this is the night she drives to the sheet store where there's a payphone outside the sheet store, and this is where Houseman uses the payphone to call Leslie to tell her that his father has died and he needs somebody there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he's with
You got
Beth.
somebody there.
Yeah. So he says, "Please come console me." He tells Leslie that Beth is out of town, which she is in the car driving him there. So it's a little strange. Now, Walmart employees heard that, White received this call, and Leslie told her coworkers that, remember bicycle dickhead, his dad died, and so I'm going to leave work a little early tonight to console him, and, pictures from whoever's graduation can fucking wait. I don't care. So Leslie stops home. Her mom said that she had chicken pot pie that night Mom made.
Yeah.
So she had some chicken pot pie. She said she had a report due the next day for class, so she grabbed the report and said that she was leaving. Goodbye, see you later. And so that was that. Her mother said she usually came home around like 10 o'clock after Walmart shift, because she left to go to Walmart.
Got it.
And then ended up getting the call at Walmart and leaving Walmart early to go console William there. So the mother says she usually expects Leslie home around 10 o'clock. She gets off her shift at 9 or so. She hangs out. She gets home at 10. And so she said that her daughter was working there, like I said, to try to build up her photo shit here. But about 10 o'clock came and she never came home. So her mom was hanging out, kind of, periodically checking it out. You know how it is.
Yeah, maybe 10:30.
10:15, 10:30 comes around. She's not there. She's not there. Obviously, her mother becomes a little concerned at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the house has gone to bed, but she stays up. The mother does, because she's worried. Usually, Leslie, if she's late, she calls. She's a very conscientious young lady, apparently, from what her mother says. So finally, midnight comes around. So now it's like 2 hours late. So she wakes her husband up and she's like, "Hey, Leslie's not home. We got to do something." And I'm sure the husband was like, "What? I don't know. She's fine."
Yeah.
You know how fathers are.
Right.
We're laying there going, "I don't know.
How long's she been missing? What the fuck?
I don't know. What's happening? I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Call whoever you want. And then go back to sleep.
You do it. I'll be right here.
Yeah, I'll be good. I'll help." And then you go, right after you say your help.
Yeah, I'm going to get up.
Yeah, so she, an hour or two later, an hour or two goes by, and she calls Leslie's boyfriend, which Leslie has a boyfriend, like an actual boyfriend.
Now she does?
Yeah, I think it was she's had for a little while here. That's, I think this was just a kind of a work thing.
Got it.
We'll put it that way with Houseman.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot Me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
But I don't know when she got the boyfriend. So I'm not saying she was, who knows what the hell was going on there. And she's 18. Who cares, honestly? So, yes, the mother calls Leslie's boyfriend to say, do you know where Leslie is? Obviously, because that's the other person that she would go see. He told her that he called Leslie also and hasn't heard from her. So I've been trying to get a hold of her too. Yeah. So shit, thanks for calling. But if you hear anything, you tell me. So they both kind of have that. If you hear anything, let me know. He also said Leslie, this is the boyfriend, Leslie left a message on his phone that night saying she had plans to go to Newville to console William Houseman, who the boyfriend, as far as he knew, was a coworker at Wal-Mart. And, that was it. So that's all it was. So at that point, in the phone message she left for her boyfriend, she said that Houseman's father died in Virginia and his father was all he had, and that Houseman had threatened to commit suicide by walking out in front of an 18-wheeler on the interstate.
Oh, my God.
So she was going over there to talk him off the fucking side of the road, I guess. I don't know. He said, I can't take it. I'm going to go run out in front of a truck. And she said, okay, I'll help you out here.
That's used in this.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's gross.
Oh, that's probably the worst thing you could do to manipulate somebody, is say that.
100%.
I mean, if someone's actually...
Right. If you're really doing it,
that's another
don't
story.
Fucking cry wolf.
But to cry wolf,
motherfucker,
that makes people not respond to a lot of other people's shit.
I hate it.
And not even have their... Yeah, that's a fucking...
It's not just like the manipulation tactic. It's also something with it has to do... Personally, internally, I hate it because it's going to fucking just gives suicide and people that are really at the end of the rope a really bad fucking look.
Yeah, it does. And if you hear it a lot too, you don't. Everybody hears that type of shit all the time. So you don't respond when you don't respond. We should be more aware of people that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this is a personal thing for me where I have a horrible, horrible guilt that I have a friend who committed suicide, and he texted me an hour before he did it.
Was it vague, or was it
he said,
super
you
serious?
Up.
Yeah.
It was 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
And he said, you up, because I'm his only friend that he knew would be up in the middle of the night. But I was tired, and I had been working on a script, and I knew he'd been having all these problems with his girlfriend, and I knew that it was going to be a 2-hour conversation, and he was going to, and I was tired. I literally had just laid down.
He had no idea what was going on.
No clue.
You just were like, fuck, I don't want to hear about her.
I thought he was going to be like, oh, this, exactly, like, because we've had these conversations a million times.
Do it tomorrow.
And so I just didn't respond. I was like, I'll just say I was asleep. It's cool. And then that's the next morning I found out that. So,
damn it.
Yeah, that I have. Oh, Jesus Christ. It fucking keeps me up at night. I have such guilt over that
one
shit.
Shouldn't get you.
It does, though, man.
I know.
It does. I have a real arm's length policy with people since then, and that's kind of why I feel like if they're, I don't want to be, I don't know, man. I'm apparently not equipped or whatever. I don't have enough human something to figure out. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you shouldn't be around me or something, because it's not going to help you.
Well,
I feel horrible about it.
I have an OCD about like a notification in my phone. I got to check it, and it, not just like right now, but like when I see it, I've got to look at it. And I mean, and I can't like just leave it if it's something like that. A lot of times, about 95% of the time, I go, what's going on? Yeah. And then I realized also
and me too, because I had done it a million times. I'd done it a million times before, and that day, for some reason, it was 2:30. I literally fucking head hit the pillow, and I heard my phone go off, and I'm like, I can't get up and talk for 2 hours now.
Let's do it tomorrow,
and
man.
I felt bad. I was like, I'll text him in the morning, I'm sure.
He'll hate it again tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. He'll still hate her tomorrow, right. And then it'll be fine. And then, no. So, that's... So I get she's going to try to help. And
she has motivation to help.
She has motivation, especially when you're 18, especially.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing. When you're 18, your friends mean a ton, and you want to help them, and you think you can make a difference in their life and change them, and meanwhile, they won't even remember you in 20 years.
Well, and also that kind of pushes you to maintain drama throughout your life, too.
Yeah.
When you're 18, if you, absorb that and, always want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
When you're 27 and married, your husband's going to be like, "What? Why do you do this?"
That happens
all
too
the time.
Sometimes. Yeah, your wife.
Stop it.
Away. Yeah, it's interesting. So, now her mother, when she hears this from the boyfriend, that this is what she's gone to do, the mother says, "Oh, that makes sense, because she's a real nice person, and she would do that sort of thing." Basically, she's like, okay, she relaxed a little bit. All right, that makes a lot of sense. She says, "Quote: I taught my kids, no matter what, if somebody needs help, you go to them. I raised my kids that way, and still to this day, if someone needs help, whether monetary or what, we help them." She says, but it usually comes back to bite you, which it does.
It's often
helping people, but every once in a while, it's worth it, and then that's important. So those are the things that keep us human. So basically, she said that, but still, the no call thing is weird. Why wouldn't Leslie just call and go, "Hey, Mom, I'm doing this with my friend, and I'll be home later. Don't worry about me." She said, quote, "My daughter would call home. She would let us know if she possibly could. So we knew from the minute she reached the trailer that she had no opportunity to call, because she would always call and let you know where she was, and what was going on and stuff like that." So basically, she didn't sleep that night, the mother. She sat up all night, and then in the morning, she files a missing persons report. She calls the Lewiston police to file a report. She was told that since her daughter was 18 years old and free to be anywhere she wanted to be, that her mom can't really do anything about it if she just didn't come home for a night, because she's 18 years old. We're not going to track down your kid for you, because it could be just... you don't know if this is just she's trying to use you to find her kid. It's like, well, that's not really our job, is to find your kid. But in this case, she's 18. I'm worried about her. You might want to take a look. What is the Lewiston Police Department doing? Yeah. What else do they have to fucking do? You know what I mean? What's going on there that they're so fucking tied up?
Listen, Drew Carey and The Price is Right just came on. So can you call back later?
We have a backlog of 10,000 rapes we're trying to solve.
Right.
No, you don't. It's Lewiston, Pennsylvania. You don't have shit going on. So get chop.
Right.
So, but I mean, that's their policy. I get it. That's not like the individual person.
And I get that even if you raise the age to 21, 25, the age ranges of people that go missing and are in dire need.
Yeah.
It's still, if you keep doing that, then you're going to have somebody that's 26 that needs help that you didn't go get.
Between 18 and 70, you can do whatever you want and disappear for a couple of days and you're fine. Once you're 70, then they'll all go looking for you, for Christ's sake. Put alerts out.
Lose their mind.
Silver alert to embarrass you. He's old and missing, everybody. What? I'm fine.
I'm 71. I went for a jog.
Sick of you fucking people for a minute. I was just sick of everybody. I was going to Vegas for the weekend. Jesus Christ. I want to see a show.
Silver alert. I'm not decrepit. I was running, you fucking jerk.
Jesus Christ. So the mother's pissed off about that. So rather than take that as an answer and wait, she calls 4 more law enforcement agencies.
Oh my God.
To help, to try to find help looking for her. Finally, she spoke with a Deputy Brian Vaughn of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in Virginia, that said, and she said that he said he would help try to find her. He's got even less to do than the Lewiston.
I'll cross state lines.
Why not? Well, down there, he'll fuck, because it's all in the same area. This is way down in South Pennsylvania, so it could be over in the next state. Who knows? So she could have drifted down there. Yeah. We don't know. So basically, they found somebody with less to do than the Lewiston Police Department. And he was like, I'll give it a fucking crack. I'll give it a whirl. Why not?
I've been looking for police work for 5 years.
I'm bored. Yeah, I'm super bored here. So he's looking to help. She's missing.
Yeah.
So obviously, where is Leslie? Mm-hmm. We'd all like to know. Well, here's what happened that night. Let's talk about it here. Leslie arrives at the trailer. This is the address he gave her. It's the trailer where he lives with Beth. She arrives there. He talks to her in the living room. They hang out in the living room talking. This whole time, Beth is in the bedroom. She's in there, not making her presence known.
Yeah.
Leslie has no idea she's
also
there.
Not out of town.
Not out of town. And Leslie thinks she is, though. She thinks they're alone in the trailer. And basically, what Beth will say later on is that she heard a thumping noise, and she heard Leslie cry out. This is because she believes that he hit her in the hand with a hammer.
Oh.
At this point.
In the hand?
In the hand with a hammer.
Good Lord.
Which I don't know why you would do that. I can't imagine what the fuck reasoning you'd have for that.
That's a odd first step.
Yeah. So at this point, apparently, Beth pops out to help subdue Leslie and help tie her hands and feet with speaker wire.
Oh, no.
Speaker wire, which is a fucking just shitty, man. It's just shitty. It's just, you didn't even fucking, I don't know.
It screams of desperation of tools to do this.
I don't know what it is, but it's less insulting if you at least plan something. Right. I don't know why.
If you had some zip ties, there might be some...
I get what we're saying. We're talking about splitting hairs. I mean, it's honestly, either way, anytime you're attacking a young woman, you're way out of fucking bounds of anything. But I feel it's even more insulting to not even think about.
Right.
Like, not even... I don't know, give the person that much thought to where, like, okay, we'll plan it.
Right.
I don't know. Even though planning it's worse, who the fuck knows? But this is planned, but they just didn't plan it well, which makes it worse.
It's a little more... you're right. It's insulting if somebody goes, we need to tie him up. And they just like look around the room. Yeah. There's speaker wire
you didn't
right
even
there.
Think about this, you fucking assholes.
Christ.
That's how little I fucking mean. Or are you guys that incompetent?
Right.
This is why you got fired from Wal-Mart for your fucking poor bicycle construction, you piece of shit. I hope she was saying this the whole time. Fuck, man. So, they tie her hands and feet with speaker wire. They then shove a large piece of red cloth into her mouth and use another piece of cloth to tie a tight gag around her mouth.
Jesus.
So she's got a cloth in her mouth and then she's gagged too.
Like a mechanic's rag?
So, that's that's fucking horrible. So, they have her tied up now with speaker wire and gagged, and they leave her there for a minute. And they go outside to smoke cigarettes and figure out what to do. You know, we don't want to smoke in the house.
Right. You gotta be nice to this
place. Draw the line
right.
here. I mean, I got a fucking security deposit. I don't want the carpet to stink.
It's a lease. We don't even own it.
Well, fine to tie up young women who've done nothing wrong and do this, but Christ almighty, I'm renting here.
Oh, Lord.
So they go outside to smoke cigarettes and discuss what to do next, because again, this is not a good plan. Meanwhile, they lured this girl here, so that was a plan, but they didn't have any plan beyond that. Just, okay, get her here. And then okay, now what do we do? Where she's fucking tied up, now what? Like,
and then he hit her in the hand and was like, Beth, it didn't work.
Shit, now what do we do? I feel like, at what point do you plan the next step?
Do you think that was going to end it, you idiot?
Don't even plan the whole thing. Just plan the next step.
Right.
We're doing this now. After that, we're going to do this. Just plan that part. Not just like, well, we got that done. Now what? Like... Fucking idiots.
Now her hand's injured and she's tied with speaker wire.
So, that's how that works. So they get in there. They smoke some cigarettes. They re-enter the trailer where, Jesus Christ, where Beth holds Leslie down against her struggling, obviously, while Houseman strangles her with a speaker wire.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and the crook of his arm. So he was like, had her in like a chin lock and had the speaker wire and was to hold her in place while Beth held her body down. Nice fucking game.
And
Jesus Christ.
And her crime that she deserved this was emailing him.
She just had no idea. It was just making friends with a guy at work who was a scumbag and hooking up with someone on the side when he had a girlfriend.
Holy shit.
She did nothing to anybody.
This is unbelievable.
Nothing to anybody here. So she ends up passing away from this, obviously. During the struggle, Leslie scratched Markman and Beth in the neck as well. She was struggling. That's why I don't blame her. Christ, this is disgusting. So anyway, she ends up dying from asphyxiation caused by strangulation and also the rag stuffed in her mouth because she couldn't breathe in two different ways. So what they do then, I'm sure after many more cigarettes and contemplation, they decide that they are going to wrap her body in a canvas tent and place it in the back of her own Jeep.
Jesus.
So they're like, okay, that's what they do. They bring a tent that they have and they wrap her up in it. They carry her outside and put her in the back of her Jeep. Okay. And they're like, okay, now what do we do? Let's take off. Let's go to Virginia. Let's just finish our plan of a new start in Virginia. So Beth drives her own car while Houseman drives the Jeep, drives Leslie's Jeep with Leslie in the back of it.
Oh, so gross.
And they caravan down to Virginia there. They drive to a remote piece of land in the middle of fucking nowhere that Houseman's mother owns and placed White's body here, Leslie's body, in the trunk of an abandoned car at the edge of this property and went away.
Wow.
They threw out all of her personal effects, got rid of all that shit, except her camera, which they kept because they're going to sell that, of course, obviously. Yeah, that's got to get a couple bucks out of that.
Jesus.
So, they leave her at the abandoned thing there, and obviously it's the farmer, like we said, sees the car, calls the cops.
Right.
That's how that goes. So they remain in Virginia for a few days. They stay with some friends. They also stay with Houseman's father, which is interesting when we hear later on what he says about his father. Alive, and what he'll say in court later, I wouldn't be voluntarily staying with this man, probably, if any of it was true. So, put it that way. Okay. So, Houseman continues to drive her Jeep just all around, basically.
He's staying with his dad, driving the Jeep?
He's just driving the Jeep around Virginia, hanging out for a few days, driving over here. Hey, make some friends, go over there. Why not? Staying with a guy named Larry Overstreet and Kimberly Stultz. And they talk about the whole thing, and Beth backs him up, saying, we bought the Jeep from my friend in Pennsylvania. Just got it. It's pretty nice, right? Yeah, so that's just how it is. They're all like, how'd you get a Jeep?
That is scummy shit,
bought it from my friend. Yeah, just pretending like everything's fine. Everything's fine there. Now, when they're at this house, Beth gets the camera, Leslie's camera from the Jeep, and then they all take pictures of each other with it.
Wow.
Yeah, they I got a camera. Let's take pictures. This is a joyous occasion.
Holy shit.
They pose with the car, with your arms around each other. Like they're, like people post on Instagram. They're doing this.
Blown away.
With her camera.
Yeah.
Just go out. I got this camera. Yeah, that's great. They see, now the people here, their friends, the Overstreet and Stultz, they saw scratches on Beth's neck and said, what happened to your neck? You're all scratched up. And she said, I was playing with a dog. I was playing with my, relative's dog, and the dog scratched me, which Frankie does that to me, especially if you let her, play with her when she's going nuts. So she said, they're from a dog, and they said, okay, never thought twice about it after that. So at that point, they're asking, are there any pawn shops around here? So Stultz gives Beth the phone number of a pawn shop, and the shop owner will later say that he gave Beth $90 and a pawn ticket for the camera. So that's where she went to pawn the camera. Beth asks Stultz for cleaning supplies because she said, quote, the Jeep smelled bad, like somebody had a dead animal in it.
Oh, Jesus.
It just smells bad. I got to clean it out. I don't know what the previous owner was doing in there, but
like a dead animal.
Just a dead animal. It's like it's fucking Goodfellas. It's a skunk. I hit a skunk, Karen, right? Like, no.
Wow.
Beth also tells Stultz that Houseman had been seeing another woman, and if I ever come across this woman, I'm going to whoop her ass. That's what she says.
She's saying all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, to a person they've already murdered.
Right.
So another woman, a friend of hers named Nina Jo Fields, she says that during the time they went back there, Beth told her that Houseman had been cheating on her, but that she, quote, didn't have to worry about that damn bitch anymore because she took care of it. That's what she told her friend. This is after all this. She said, I don't have to worry about that damn bitch anymore because I took care of it. Didn't elaborate on how she took care of it. And I feel like the friend would just be like, okay, like she's a type who'll go off on a jag. It's like when she says, I took care of it, you go, okay, so anyway.
Thank God that conversation's over.
Have you seen 90 Day Fiancé?
Right.
Like, let's get into something else. So obviously there's an investigation still going on while all this is happening. Simultaneously. They filed, Leslie's parents have filed missing persons reports, and the authorities, what they end up doing here, police track her Jeep down to Virginia because now they're looking for plate numbers and shit. So this is Deputy Brian Vaughn that she called and said, fuck it, I'm bored.
I love police work.
I'll take a crack at it. What the fuck? You know what I mean? He goes to the house where this Jeep has been spotted, because it's a small area. He goes to figure it out and knocks on the door. Or before he gets to the door, he goes to talk to Beth, and he sees the Jeep there in the driveway. He runs the license plate number, which comes back to Toyota Leasing Corporation. It's like, okay, so it doesn't come back to a particular person because it's a brand new car. It's still owned by the leasing corporation. Their computer probably wasn't up to date as far as registration. He just ran the plate number. So anyway, Beth and Houseman, they come to the door to say hi to the deputy there. Hey, how you doing, pal? And deputy questions both of them separately about the Jeep, and takes them in the patrol car, makes that a little interrogation booth here. And Houseman's question first. He told the deputy that he called Leslie to ask her to console him about his dog, which had just died. He says, my dog died. I was very sad.
Right. I mean,
I need something, Beth.
On the phone, there's some. I mean, it's a game of telephone. I said dog. She thought I said dad, so she rushed over.
Who knows? Yeah, dad, dog. I mean, I don't know why I'd run out in front of an 18-wheeler if my dog died. I mean, I like my dogs, but I'm not going to fucking kill myself over. Dogs die. Like they don't last as long as you.
You are not going to outlive it.
If you have a dog, you're pretty much
outlive it.
Yeah. If you get a dog, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself, I'm going to bury this fucking thing.
Right.
Pretty much, unless a tragedy occurs to me.
Right.
This dog is fucking. I'm going to outlive it, and it's going to be sad.
I just bought something I have to have a funeral for eventually.
I just bought a very, very sad day is what I bought.
And every day, that day down the road gets sadder and sadder because
worse.
I love this dog more and more.
Growing more attached to it. So Houseman said that Leslie never got to the trailer.
Yeah.
She just never got there that night. I asked her to come. She said she'd come. She never showed up. So he said, I waited for a while and then said, fuck it. I just left with Beth and went to Virginia. And the guy said, well, what about the Jeep? And he said, oh, my friend, let me borrow it. This is my friend of mine in Pennsylvania. Let me borrow it for the ride. So here I am. That's all. So then she... Okay. He talks to Beth, who voluntarily gets in the patrol car and everything, and explains to Deputy Vaughn that she'd only seen Leslie once. It's like, I've only seen her once, but I've had several phone conversations with her. She said, I don't know where she is, obviously, but she did say that from what I've heard now and everything, I do know from rumors around work that Leslie had a bad relationship with her parents, and things were pretty crazy at home. So, I mean, she could have run away. Who knows? Which is totally not true. Right. She's a wonderful relationship with her parents. Right. They're nice people who treat her well, and she appreciates it.
Yeah.
So
but also, officer, if you see her, she's been ducking me.
She's been ducking me. Let me know I'm going to whoop that bitch's ass. Like, fucking right then and there when I see her. She's done.
I'm gonna.
I'll tell you what.
Damn bitch.
I will beat her ass if you see her.
I love when people misuse "damn."
I love that.
It kills me.
So, yeah, she said maybe she ran away. So they said, all right, fair enough. You don't know anything about her. Where'd you guys get the Jeep? And she said, I don't know how. Billy there, Houseman, he just had the Jeep. I don't know where the fuck he got her from. It's none of my business. Right. I don't know. And he said, well, don't you have your car too? And she said, yeah. What happened? She said, we drove separately. He's like, okay, so you drove separately to Virginia? That's
wild.
A weird thing to do. So then Deputy Vaughn asked Beth if she was afraid of Houseman. Are you afraid of him? He's trying to give her like a thing. Like, are you not being honest with me because of what's going to happen when you go in that house, basically?
Blink twice or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she said, not at all. She said, actually, I'm the one with a violent temper. If anybody's scared of anybody, it's him of me, and not me of him. Because, I'm the one that has physical fights, and he just takes it, basically.
Watch, Billy. Remember those emails? And see the door shut. I told you, scared of me.
That's it. See? God damn it. Door shut quick. He went, oh, fuck. Slam the door.
That damn fucker's scared.
It's obvious. Don't you see it? Look at him, pussy. So she said that she had a violent temper, and often Houseman had to restrain her when she was trying to attack him physically with weapons and everything else. Often he has to basically bear hug her and get her to fucking stop.
Just walk her to the floor.
I don't know. Just, you gonna be calm now? You gonna be calm now?
If I let go.
Yeah, are you gonna stab me if I let go? Like, what a weird thing to have to do there.
That's a bad relationship.
Yeah, she said that she, as a matter of fact, has provoked him time and time again, and in the past she's thrown things at him and hit him in the head with shit, but she said that he never assaulted her or even threatened her, no matter what, even no matter what she throws at him or tries to hit him with, basically.
Isn't like, that a sweet officer?
I try to provoke him. Right. I'll tell you what, I'm looking for a fight, and he just won't fight me. I think he's a pussy. You know what? You try to fight him and see if he'll fight you. See if take your badge and gun off and just be like, "What's up, pussy?" and see if he's just got anything to say.
Officer, I've been trying to figure out if he's a pussy or a gentleman.
I don't know which. To me, it's the same thing.
If you'll
now. With my background,
if you could bait him,
yeah,
I'm guessing gentleman.
That's someone like Beth. I feel like to her, that's the same thing. Right. You know, unfortunately,
you open the door for me. What are you, some kind of pussy?
What are you, fucking pussy? Jesus Christ!
I can pull my own chair out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you call me and ask me out? You're so needy, thirsty motherfuckers. Like what? We're together. What are you talking about?
I just told everybody you're my girlfriend.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
You said that last night, remember? So anyway, the detective or the deputy's like, all right, well, I mean, there's nobody's admitting anything. He has no evidence to go on. He's got a Jeep and a missing Jeep, but he can't match him up on the license plate right now. So there's nothing to do. So he leaves basically and, documents all this. Following this police visit, Houseman and Beth drive back to the property where they left Leslie's body, and they dump the Jeep off there too.
That's not good.
They abandoned the Jeep out there, too.
That's the worst thought that they've had yet.
Yeah, because they figure...
apart from killing somebody.
Well, they're doing a thing like, okay, we're all in on that spot, right? I mean, there's already a body there, so if they find the body, that's kind of fucked right away. So, I mean, we might as well go all in on that one spot. I feel like that's what it is. Like, if that's our best spot, let's put all of our fucking eggs in that basket.
But the answer of, dropping the Jeep back... Law enforcement saw us with this. Now we put it with the body. That's a bad idea.
Next to the body. They're so confident that nothing will be found there. That's the only way. It is.
Well, that's the upside down. Like nobody can get there.
That's it. And then a couple days later, they discover the body, and they also discover the Jeep there as well.
With so many fingerprints.
Let's find out about that. Let's see. Houseman's fingerprints were found on the car that the body was in, on the trunk lid, like when you slam it and then you don't wipe it off, on the license plate holder thing, on a compact disc removed from the Jeep, on the Jeep's hatch, and all sorts of other evidence from everywhere that their fingerprints are all over everything.
Did that say who the CD was?
I did not. I was so mad too. I tried to find it. I tried to find it. I could not fucking find it.
2000 could have been anything.
Anything.
Hootie,
fucking Third Eye Blind or some horse shit. They had Sugar Ray playing, these assholes.
I'm sure
they did. You just still just wanna fly. Bopping their heads. You can't see me at home, but I'm doing it just for Jimmy's benefit. I'm just like, acting like I'm driving, like, I'm gonna fly. This fucking Jeep's gonna take flight right now. God damn it!
Jesus, I really want to know what that will tell us. I mean, we already know so much about them.
Yeah,
but
that'll tell us everything.
Oh boy,
a lot more.
A lot. Some 311 or some ICP.
I was just gonna say, it's like Insane Clown Posse or something. I feel like he listens to that while he puts bicycles together poorly. So, also, Beth's fingerprints were found on a potato chip bag found in the Jeep, and the Jeep's passenger door and the rear hatch. And also, subsequent analysis later on will reveal that Beth's DNA is also found under Leslie's fingernails.
You betcha.
Which is a real tough thing to explain, saying I've only met her once, and she somehow has my DNA under her fingernails.
We shared a bag of walking tacos.
So obviously, your DNA gonna get mixed up when you do that. I mean, that's
more than sex.
Kind of the point of a walking taco. You know what I'm saying?
Might as well fuck somebody and share a bag of walking tacos.
If only they could get the pandas and the koalas to do that, they wouldn't have to try to get them to fuck, because their DNA just gonna mix in a walking taco. So I can save the koalas. Save the koalas, more walking tacos.
Have them share a bag of that and then just jam the bag inside out up a panda pussy, and that will get them pregnant.
I'm going to get pregnant every damn time that way. Every time. No matter what happens.
We just solved panda problems.
We did it. They can reproduce at will now. Boom, boom, boom. As long as there's fucking Dorito taco bags. Walking tacos.
Gross.
So they're looking into it. There's obviously they find all this evidence and they're like, let's get a little more evidence here. Let's figure out what we can. What they find out is pretty interesting. They find out that 2 weeks before this murder happened, this is wild, Houseman had gone to North Carolina to try to find somebody who could change the Jeep's title to show him or Beth as the owners.
What?
He was already planning this, literally do the paperwork for the title to change so they could legally drive this. Literally, like, this seems like the whole thing is let's steal her car.
He's trying to get a power of attorney?
Yeah.
Like what?
He's trying to get like a title switch, a somebody who does fucking falsifies paperwork.
That is unbelievable.
That's what he's trying to do. And then he can file the falsified paperwork and it's their car.
Wild.
So that's what he's trying to do. This whole thing seems to be over a car.
Right.
Over a fucking Jeep.
That's what it sounds like, but...
Or it's just like, we're going to kill her anyway. Might as well take her Jeep.
May as well keep it.
I guess, or dump it in the
tell
field.
Everybody we bought it from her?
I bought it from
her on her way?
And then she must have ran away afterwards. She sold her Jeep, took the money, and ran away. I guess that's the plan to say. Like, we bought the Jeep and she must have took off. So,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
He did that. Also, the deputy there tracked the black Jeep to to the property that the body was found on. Police work over the course of the next week leads to, some confessions basically out of this whole thing. We'll talk about.
It's hard to explain without a confession.
Yeah, in a minute. Now, the mother, Leslie's mother, said, "quote That's how he got. That's how he was going to get the Jeep. He picked her as a victim because of her Jeep." Which is possible.
That's disgusting.
We don't know. The Pennsylvania State Police obtained a search warrant for the trailer, for Beth's trailer, and they found blood on a pillow, urine on the carpet in the place where she was strangled, along with blood right there as well. They also discovered 2 lengths of speaker wire. Like they cut it off and left the rest of it there. Like, well, I don't need the rest of that. Red fibers on the floor, which matched the gag in her mouth. A piece of red cloth that was torn to make the gag in her mouth. A steak knife. Red fibers on the knife where they cut the knife, where they cut the cloth to put in her mouth. A tent storage bag with no tent in it that matches the tent that fucking Beth was wrapped in. Right. They couldn't have made it more fucking obvious. They basically said, let's kill someone and then just say fuck it and go hang out with our friends.
Well, the worst is
let's not even do a cleanup here.
Right.
Also found a hammer and a stethoscope, and we'll talk about the stethoscope as well.
No.
Oh yeah. This is bad stuff here.
They got a stethoscope to make sure
they got a
she's dead?
stethoscope. Yeah, and we'll find out exactly what happened there. These people suck.
Yeah.
Houseman and Beth suck.
There's zero thought and planning to this in the first place, but even on top of that, it's so cold.
It's cold. It's ice cold. They don't give a shit. So October 11th, 2000 is 1 week after the murder. This is when they are arrested, Beth and Houseman. They're both arrested. Police retrieve Leslie's camera from the pawn shop and develop the film. She left the film in there.
Didn't even take the roll out.
She took a bunch of pictures and then just sold the thing and left it in there. They're so fucking stupid. The pictures taken were at the Overstreet residence, where they were admitted later on into evidence. In one photograph, this is horrible. This is, by the way, like 3 days after they strangled Leslie to death. In one of them, Beth is laughing while Houseman pretends to strangle her in one of the pictures.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's one of the pictures. Like, look at what we're... And then they...
Wow.
It's like, isn't this a fun inside joke for us?
I hate them so much.
Don't you want to just punch them both in their respective genitalia?
I mean, it's
just over and over again.
That somebody's dead because of them, but thank God they're terrible at this.
Oh,
They are so bad at this. They are dangerous as fuck if they're good at this.
If they could say, hey, let's get rid of evidence, God. They would be seriously dangerous.
They'd be on killer couples.
They would be natural born killers is what they would be.
Right.
But instead, they're just like so...
They're Walmart employee fuck-ups.
That's the thing. They're Walmart Walmart level fucking skilled murderers.
They're Walmart quality. If you could buy a murderer, you'd buy them at Walmart.
At Walmart. In the $5 DVD bin. That's where they would be. In the $5 DVD bin with like all the Kirk Cameron Christian movies and shit.
And you'd have to dig to the bottom where they've already been touched a bunch.
Oh, it's
and
just
that's
disgusting.
where these two fucks would be.
Ugh, you know
with
it, man.
With a big smiley face that says roll back.
Roll back. Yay. Doesn't that turn you on?
With stickers that said $9.99 on them.
Yeah,
underneath their $5 sticker.
You know it's $5 still, though. You know. So they received Miranda warnings when they were arrested, and Beth and Houseman both waive their Miranda rights and agree to be interviewed. Okay. Obviously, tape-recorded statements. Independently, they each confessed to participating in the murder.
Yeah.
Houseman admits to killing her by strangling her, but claimed that Beth instigated the murder to eliminate one of their relationship problems, which was Leslie, which was a major source of contention with the emails and all that sort of thing. And he claims that she told him that this will enable them to start the relationship anew. We're going to start over. She'll be dead. You could just move. Yeah. She's not going to follow you. It's not like I'm going to come. I need William Houseman. I'm going to move there too.
You know what you could
never seen him again.
You could disperse and just break up the relationship and then meet somebody else and then start anew.
There you go. Without each other.
Because you're both shitbags.
This is a bad cocktail, these two. So he says that Beth told him to tie Leslie up and strangle her, and that Beth forced compliance by hitting him with a hammer and then spinning the hammer in a threatening manner, saying she's going to hit him again.
With the claw? Oh, Jesus.
Like
she's like dancing with it?
Oh, like kind of flipping it around in your hand like you would like you twirl a gun.
Right.
She's doing that with a hammer.
Doc Holliday with a shot glass?
Yeah, except with a fucking framing hammer.
With something that stings?
Yeah, she did that and was threatening him, like, if you don't do this better, I'm going to do that. After Leslie, they thought she was dead, Beth listened with a stethoscope to verify her death. No, okay, I don't hear a heartbeat, and then they wrapped her in the tent.
Scummy.
That makes it why so much worse, I don't know, but it really does. Now, in her statement, Beth admits that she was the one doing the binding and gagging there. She did it to White and held her down while he strangled her, which is pretty much what he said too. Their stories pretty much match up, except in her version, Houseman was the one who devised the plan to kill her in order to steal her Jeep, and coerced Beth's assistance by threatening to kill her with a hunting knife if she didn't obey him. Now, she also said that he wore her resistance down by terrorizing her the night before the murder by holding a knife to her throat and forcing her to remain naked in the trailer all night.
Okay.
With a knife to her throat.
It seems like, I'll do it.
She said she only realized Leslie was dead when she realized that she lost control of her bladder. That must have been the thing. So that was what it was. So she said, that's when I realized. Which, I don't see. The thing is, I don't believe either one of them.
No.
I feel like they did this shit 100% together.
Right.
They were like, let's do it. And they were with each other every step of the fucking way. That's how I feel.
And he's like, I'll check her with
you
the
can
stethoscope.
blame here.
She's like, I was the one certified at Walmart for the CPR.
I'm old. I know how to use a stethoscope.
I was in charge of the first aid cabinet. I'd do it.
I'd do it, goddammit. I did the blood pressure check. I would call the company when the machine was broken, but I was in charge of it, is what I'm getting at.
I overlooked as he calibrated.
You know how it goes. So the prosecutor here is a guy named David Freed.
I fixed it once because they said, is it plugged in? And I was like, you're right.
Oh, shit.
Fixed.
See, now I can work on them. I know blood pressure stuff and medical things. So give me the stethoscope. He said that, some of these murders, who knows? He said it's not necessarily... Sometimes there's drug related and sometimes there's, relationship problems. People murder each other. But he said this is ridiculous, basically. He said, quote, with Houseman and Markman, this never had to happen. She truly was an innocent victim in all this. She simply was graduating high school, gotten a job, started to find her way in life, and came across these two and paid with her life for having done nothing at all. Which is, you can't argue any of that. She did nothing, this poor kid.
That's a good point. There was no drugs in this at all. These two fuckfaces did this stone sober.
Sober. I mean, I don't know if they had a six-pack or something, but either way, this is ridiculous. They charged them both with first-degree murder, conspiracy, kidnapping, theft, and unlawful restraint and abuse of a corpse. So there.
Thrown in Grand Theft Auto, too.
No shit. Yeah.
Hit him with everything.
Theft is on there.
That ain't big enough.
That's, I don't know, Pennsylvania, they might not differentiate here. The state says, gonna go after the death penalty on both of them.
Good.
Fuck them both, they say. Let's go after both of them here. Now, the one of their attorneys here is a public defender for Beth, and then another defense attorney named Hubert Gilroy for Houseman. And basically, these are court-appointed defenders, but they're private lawyers that are appointed by the court for the purposes of this. Because if they don't have public defenders in a small county like this, they might not have public defenders with enough murder case experience to where that would be an appeal problem.
Right.
As they had some shitty public defender who didn't know what he was doing. So they bring in bigger charges there. Now, both are bigger lawyers. Both of their lawyers are trying to get the kidnapping and criminal conspiracy charges thrown out of court. They don't want those because that's the aggravator that makes it a death penalty case, basically. The one lawyer, Gilroy, Houseman's lawyer, he was asked by the judge to do it, and he said, quote, I don't normally do court appointments, but he said that, it's a capital murder case and he's got to do it. He says that he makes these type of things, he says the court pays him, quote, less than 50% of what he would charge a capital murder client. Really? He's like, I'm not making my full nut here. This is bullshit.
So he's trying to get it thrown out because she came there willingly?
Well, I guess so. I guess that's going to be the
fuck you.
That's going to be the legalese on that one.
Shit.
Both Markman and Houseman both want severed trials. They don't want it to be tried together because it sounds worse if you can introduce both of their bullshit in there. So Houseman moves to sever his trial because introduction of her confession to police, which was admissible, would violate his Sixth Amendment right to confront a witness against him, which turns out to not be that really because they're co-conspirators. So that doesn't fucking matter. It's not a witness who's outside. It's a witness who was helping you.
Right.
Co-conspirator shit is different. Therefore, the trial court denies the motion, says you two assholes are going to go together. Two idiots in one courtroom. Which is going to be fucking hilarious. Wow.
Two idiots, one courtroom. That's a video I will watch.
Yeah, that's perfect. So October 24, 2001 is jury selection, and they do 2 days of jury selection, 50 candidates. They can only pick 10 people who were selected on the panel in those 2 days. They're having a hard time finding anybody at all here to do this for some reason. They said they have to continue jury selection to get 6 more jurors to have alternates and everything like that. So they go on. It just went on forever, this jury selection. The trial comes up, and Beth's lawyer blames everything on Houseman. That's what they do. They're saying he bullied her into it. His attorney claims that he admitted killing her and stealing her car and camera, but he denied kidnapping or planning to kill her. That was all Beth's idea. I did the stuff.
I feel so bad for these lawyers.
I know, like these two fucking idiots. They must go out and get shit-faced at the end of the day of the trial. We have to deal with these two fucking morons.
I have to try to get them the best case possible.
Dumb twats.
Work my ass off within the guidelines of the Constitution for these fucks.
For these fucking idiots. They deserve none of it. So, Beth testifies that she endured 2 years of physical abuse from him. Yeah. She said the beatings intensified when she learned that he was having an affair with Leslie and all this sort of thing. Houseman and Markman, they both decided to do a duress defense. So they're both saying that the other one was forcing them into doing it. That's their thing. So
same trial, and the jury's got to decide between them.
Yeah, that's the official thing: is the use of or threat to use unlawful force against their person or person of another, which blah blah blah. So they threatened them. So upon learning that Beth intended to show she acted under duress as a result, that's when he filed it again. So then he files another severance motion saying that again violates blah, blah, blah. And the court says, nope, we're trying you idiots together. This is happening.
We'll leave it up to your peers.
This is going to happen. We cannot wait.
We got 10 Walmart employees.
They're all here. Those are your peers, by the way. Fired Walmart employees. So the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania here, they play an audio tape of Beth's confession, and they altered the references to Houseman and replaced it with another voice saying, quote, the other person. So whenever she would say, like, Billy did this, they would stop and it would just be an outside voice saying, the other person, rather than Billy. That would be the replacement.
So good.
That's what they played in court. which is hilarious.
It really is.
She initially denied knowledge or even knowing that Leslie had been in her trailer the night she was killed, and then she ended up giving it up. She changed her story and said that Houseman was helping. This is what she said after that. Houseman was helping Leslie run away from her parents. And while Beth drove to Virginia in her car, he's saying that Houseman drove with Leslie to Virginia in the Jeep. And then when police asked about the scratches on her neck, she changed her story again and said she got in a fight with White the day she left Virginia, but then that's the last time she saw her.
Okay.
So she changed it from I've only seen her once to we were hanging out and driving all in a big caravan together to we got in a fist fight. We were throwing some fucking hands and then we left the next day and never heard from her again. This is all in one taped confession. Great. So lying. Right. So after further interrogation, she finally confesses to her role in the murder, but she blamed Houseman for making her participate by threatening her and terrorizing her. She said that when Leslie arrived at the trailer in response to the phone call, she said that she stayed out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to stay out of the way and, I don't want to get involved. Until she heard Leslie cry out when she got hit in the hand with a hammer. And that's when Houseman forced Beth to come out and tie Leslie up, gag her, blindfold her. And then she said after he strangled her, he made Beth wrap Leslie's body in the tent and put it in the Jeep. And when asked why on the stand he killed, her, Beth said that she believed that he wanted the Jeep. So, yeah, this is... come on. This is kind of silly. But she also testifies that she was constantly physically abused in the months leading up to the murder by Houseman. She also said that that he terrorized her for 2 days preceding the murder, at which time he cut her clothes off with a knife, repeatedly raped her, and threatened to kill her if she didn't do as instructed.
That's a hell of a story.
That's a lot. That's her last story that she comes up with in court. That's in court. So her testimony also includes, that's a wild one, details of the night of the murder. She claims that when she drove him to the gas station, she didn't know he was planning to call Leslie. Didn't know that. She attempted to escape once they returned to the trailer, but Houseman violently prevented Beth from leaving, would not let her leave. She said that even when Leslie was bound and gagged, she didn't know that Houseman was planning on killing her. She was in the kitchen getting Leslie a glass of water when the strangling went down. She was like, "Oh, I'll get our guest a glass of water." And she, "You strangled her already? I got her water."
That is impolite.
Not her initial confession of I held her down while this happened. So, yeah, it's a little different in court. She also says that Houseman ordered her to return the gag to White's mouth because it had slipped, and that she only obeyed him because she was afraid he would kill her too. That's it. Now, obviously, this contradicts her statement to Officer Vaughn there in the car, saying he never abused her, and in fact, she's the one. She's the one who is the aggressor here. Now, when they questioned her about the photograph, and while she's laughing while he pretended to strangle her, she said that he was tickling her. That's why. Because
a hell of a tickle.
When people have their hands around your neck, it's very ticklish.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's like, do I die or laugh? I can't tell which one I should do.
So sensitive.
I laugh the most when I can't breathe. Usually, that's works for me anyway. I don't know. Based on this, all of this, she also requests, Beth does, a special jury instruction on the defense of duress. The court said no, because they said Beth placed herself in a situation where it was probable that she would be subject to duress. If you put yourself in a murder plan, the other person might force you to do things in the middle of a murder, and you kind of put yourself there. So they also introduced a tape of Houseman's confession, which they redacted any mention to Beth or Markman to the other person. So there again, and due to an oversight, though, in whoever did the audio, there were 2 instances of non-redaction where the whole court heard references to Beth Markman by name, and that remained on the tape during the court.
Shit.
That's not good. The confession alleged that Markman conceived the plot to kill Leslie, directed the execution, forced him to cooperate. Houseman said that Beth wanted White dead because she was jealous. He admitted he called White to the trailer that night because he wanted someone to talk to, and he knew he had to get he knew he had to lie to get her to come to the trailer. That's how it works. He said they just talked for a few minutes, and then Beth came out of the bedroom playing with a hammer. According to his confession here, he said after playing with the hammer, he said that Beth hit him with the hammer just enough for me to feel the pain, is what he says in court. And then he says that Beth told him to tie her hands. Once he was finished, she tied the hands and Leslie's hands and feet. After the blindfolding and gagging, that's when they went outside to smoke. They were outside, and Markman said at this point that if Houseman, if you love me, you will do as I tell you here. If you love me, you're going to fucking listen to me here. I know what I'm doing on this one. Bicycle guy.
Yeah.
So he said when they went back inside, Beth told him to put the speaker wire, pull it around her neck, which he did because he didn't want it, because, quote, he didn't want to die that night. So, in the event that Beth, quote, flipped out and wanted to hit me with the hammer. So he said he was afraid of her. So he confesses to devising the plan to leave the state with the body so they could hide it on the farm. Beth's confession also implicated him in that. Also, there's also a statement by the deputy of this whole thing here. Where in response to a question, he indicated that Beth at the time of arrest, quote, appeared to be hyperventilating, having trouble catching her breath, while Houseman wasn't having any such trouble. So that's going to come up because he said he was calm, but she was freaking out. That was the basic deal here. But the prosecutor tries to use this to say that obviously she's showing more remorse than he is, basically, sort of a thing.
Or she's just now realizing the fucking gravity of the situation.
And he's a moron.
Right.
That's what I get out of it. He's probably a moron who's like, what's happening now?
Free house?
What now?
Y'all are going to give me a free house?
I get meals? Shit, that ain't bad. That's not so bad. Hold on. Now, in the closing argument, the prosecutor says, quote, when you get down to the bottom line, there was an 18-year-old girl who was absolutely innocent, whose life was taken from her. And, the jury convicts both of them on first-degree murder and all other charges as well.
Thank God.
Finding one aggravating circumstance, killing committing while in the perpetration of a felony.
Yes.
So sentencing comes around, and this is where shit gets real interesting because there's a bunch of shit that comes out here. Basically, sentencing, they get all these psychological reports and all this type of shit. Apparently, what's his name here? Houseman was in psychiatric treatment from 89 to 92 when he was a kid, and his counsel never brings that up, which he'll talk about later on. He'll bring it up in an appeal. Failed to present different things of physical and emotional abuse he suffered during childhood. Failed to basically get mental experts who treated Houseman as an adolescent. Didn't get any of their testimony, didn't get evidence of cognitive impairments, and all this sort of shit, basically. Also, too, the first counsel, all they did was present testimony of a guy named Robin Collins, who was a spiritual advisor at the prison, who testified that he feels a, quote, special affection for Houseman. I bet you do.
Oh, boy.
Who he'd been counseling for 5 to 6 months. He says that Houseman is always prepared for Bible study and that he fits in well at Bible study classes. Oh, well, by all means.
Jesus.
Let's let him out.
Clearly, he's no danger.
Collins indicated he'd be willing to correspond with Houseman in prison also, so he'll have a friend. Counsel here also presented the testimony of Houseman's half-sister, Cheryl. This is where it gets crazy. Cheryl testified that she lived with her mother, Geneva, and her siblings, including Houseman and Houseman's father, Howard, until she was in the 6th grade when she told her mother that Howard had been sexually abusing her.
Oh, Jesus.
So his father had been abusing his stepsister.
Okay.
That's the claim, so she left after that. At that point, she and her mother and her siblings moved out of the house, but Houseman, William, remained with his father. They just all left and left him there. Cheryl further testified that Howard, the father, was physically abusive to her older brother, Russell, and that once she observed Howard repeatedly kick Russell in the groin.
Kicked him in the nuts.
Jesus, I've never heard of that as a child abuse tactic.
Wow.
Just repeatedly going after the kid's nutsack.
I've heard of it, but I've never heard of it like that. I've heard of like the mom You know what I mean? Injuring a son that way, but never a father. Like, granted, a mom can probably lay down the boot, but dads seem to be able to. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I've heard of it.
Cheryl also said that another of her older brothers, Larry, was, quote, treated like a workhorse. She described Howard as, quote, cruel and heartless, just a horrible person. And then the counsel for Houseman presented the testimony of a Dr. Stanley Schneider, who testified that he administered a psychological test to determine Houseman's intelligence level, personality inventory, which I love that. Personality inventory.
How many you got?
Let's see how much backstock we got on fucked upness. What do you got here? So, an interpersonal inventory to determine how he relates to others as well. He stated he reviewed all of Houseman's school records as well as psychiatric records from a 3-week inpatient stay at the Spartanburg Regional Medical Center in South Carolina in 1991 when he was 15. So he did 3 weeks in a mental institution type place, whatever you want to call it, when he was 15 years old. So there's obviously some issues here. Dr. Schneider also indicated that he spoke with Houseman's mother, Geneva, his father, Howard, sounds like a great guy, his half-sister, Cheryl, and his half-brother, Russell. Dr. Schneider testified that, quote, his findings indicate and support basically what you heard Cheryl testify to a few minutes ago. There's a number of negative environmental factors, abandonment, loss. Houseman was witness to family torture and violence. He also stated that when he first met Houseman still idolized his dad and didn't want to say anything negative about his father.
Really?
Yeah, even while he was sitting in jail for murder and this could help his case, he still didn't want to fucking say anything bad about it. He's like, nope, my dad's fine. They're like, I mean, you might want to talk about what happened and it's
He's
mitigating.
A pedophile and a child abuser. You know those things.
Repeated kicks in the groin.
Say that.
He went, nope, dad was great.
Wow.
He would not fucking crack on it.
My stepfather's in prison for 30 years and I can't wait to tell you all about the horrible piece of shit that he is.
That's what I'm saying.
And I've never murdered anybody.
Yeah, this guy won't tell you shit. Well, this is his father, so he's got. Well, when his mom left and it was just him and his dad, he felt like, oh well, it's just us now.
Wow.
Eventually, though, after multiple sessions, Houseman finally shared that he was abused and harshly treated by his father, according to the doctor.
We knew that. All we needed you to do was verify.
Just say it. Yeah, everyone around said the same thing. Dr. Schneider also noted that Houseman's mother, Geneva, described Houseman's father as, quote, crazy, which they're exes, so who knows? But he sounds crazy.
I mean, I say that about my ex-wife, too.
Yeah, who doesn't?
It's not that crazy.
It's not that kind. It's not repeated kicks to the groin crazy.
That's sadistic. That's not crazy.
He talks about his behavior in school and academic performance, saying that he did not fare well in school. C's, D's, and E's? There's no E's.
No.
He must mean F's.
That's an F.
That's probably an F. Yeah. He's, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It is fascinating that we just cut that letter out of grades as like we're teaching children
F
ABCs and
failure.
We go, A, B, C, D, fucking F.
Well, F means failure. What does E mean?
Yeah.
You know,
excellent. We don't want them to confuse.
We don't want them to think that. What does it mean?
F is never positive. We know that the F word's a bad thing.
That's a bad one.
We want
to failure and fucker and all that shit.
And flunked, which isn't even a word.
Felcher. I don't know. They know about that yet? Nope. All right.
They're going to flick you out of school, boy.
So he said also, though, there's no evidence that he had any expulsions or detentions or suspensions. There's no report of having acted out in an aggressive way. He wasn't reported to be fighting with other kids and things like that. He had learning problems, definitely there. No significant work history. Every job was a menial job. He'd bounce from one to the other after a couple months. Never could quite get his feet in and get a good grip. They said that his intelligence is average to below average. He's just kind of a schmuck, this regular schmuck.
It's a real bicycle mechanic.
Yeah, it's what it is, a Wal-Mart bicycle mechanic. He found his calling. He said, I can't find any reason in terms of his intellectual ability that he couldn't succeed in school except for his attention deficit disorder and his inability to form positive relationships with others. Finally, he gets up there in the penalty phase. William does, and he asked the jury to, quote, allow him to just live in prison so he can correspond more with Mr. Collins, who is the spiritual advisor.
Oh my God!
So just let me be in prison. I'll just talk to my friend.
Just don't kill me.
Yeah. When asked by his counsel what his position was in respect to the whole thing, he says that he thinks that he's been gotten a fair trial and all that sort of thing here. So The entire presentation of mitigating evidence is like 36 pages of transcript, by the way. It's I could have gone for 2 fucking hours on his childhood. It was I had it all. It was wild.
Yeah.
Those are the highlights. And finally, they're ready for sentencing. And the judge says, you, sir and ma'am, may fuck off. Death penalty for both of you.
Wow.
Double death penalty. Dueling death penalties.
Got them
both.
Holy
That's wild.
Shit.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Afterwards, he said, quote, this is Houseman, my opinion is I think the verdict that the ladies and gentlemen here gave was fair and just due to the heinous act that was done. He was trying to be
a nice guy and show remorse.
Yes, show something.
But that's bad for your appeal process, isn't it?
Well, we'll find out about that here. The jury, agreed with that his basically the aggravating factor was there for the death penalty because the jury called it and then the judge called it, and they announced that this was after 5 hours of deliberation, so it didn't take them that long to kill 2 people. They were like, fuck it. After the jurors were polled, the defendants looked back at their all the people they had. Houseman bowed his head and Markman was crying and red-faced and all that sort of shit. So George White, Leslie's father, he said afterwards that he forgave them both. He said, quote, we pray that they accept Christ in their hearts so they don't go to hell. That's what he said. That was it. And then his wife said, Shawnee is the mom. She said it's been a very traumatic year. And that was that. So Houseman, his whole thing later on with some briefs and shit is he's going to argue the cause of death. That's one thing he's going to argue, which is crazy. Yeah, it's really weird. He contends his trial counsel was ineffective for failing to present evidence to establish that Beth's act of placing the gag in the victim's mouth, rather than his act of wrapping the speaker wire around her neck, was the actual cause of the death. So they're going to play fucking drag race with what did it first, my strangling or her asphyxiation.
Imagine the balls.
That's some... Wow. I mean, that's some hairs to split. Talk about splitting hairs.
Oh, boy.
Holy shit. You're trying to split a split hair.
That is a chicken-egg argument. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's why both of you got that sentence, because fuck both of you. Yeah.
That's a good point. Sir, we're not arguing.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
You were there. She's dead. You both did those
6
things.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, Chief. You know what I'm saying? We're not even going to parse which one of you did it. It doesn't matter. You're equal.
She got it too.
I've never seen a more equal murder than this. This is such an equal murder. It's just so equal. They're both exactly the same amount responsible. I feel like they belong together and apart.
Yeah.
These fucking people. So he also is going to say that his lawyer didn't object to things that he should have, and that the prosecution elicited and failed to correct a misleading testimony regarding the specific cause of death. That's the whole thing. Saying that the medical examiner, Dr. Susan Venuti, testified that during the autopsy she removed the speaker wire that was tied around the wrists and ankles and the gag cloth that was tied around her face, and folded a piece of cloth and the folded piece of cloth that had been stuffed into her mouth. She also said she observed a small area of pink discoloration on Leslie's neck, which could either be due to some pressure on the neck, or it could be a pressure mark, or simply some discoloration due to the decompositional changes. She sat out there. She also testified it was her belief that Leslie White died from deprivation of oxygen due to airway obstruction, and the term we use is asphyxia due to suffocation by smothering. So he's saying, hey, that's not me. Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's not the part I did.
I didn't do that part. Right. I mean, I was trying to strangle her, but I mean,
that was the goal I was trying to get at. She just happened to be better at it than me. She was
apparently much more effective. She said, when asked what the effect of getting the hands under the ligature wire may have been placed around her neck would have had on the process, she stated that, that wouldn't have had anything. Mm-hmm. Basically, would tying her up have any change in her life? Mm-hmm. Which it wouldn't, other than the fact that she couldn't take it out of her mouth. That was all there. Now, so they're both gone. February 2007, Beth is appealing, trying to get a new trial. As obviously, they both have a ton of appeals. And what ends up happening in a 4-1 decision, they overturn her conviction.
What the fuck?
On murder, kidnapping, unlawful restraint, all that sort of thing here. They order a new trial for her there. The court said that they agree with Beth's claim that the Cumberland County trial court should not have allowed the jury to hear the edited audio tape confession by Whisman, which implicated her in the murder because they didn't redact it well enough. That's basically the crux of this shit, is they heard her name in the confession. They're sitting next to each other, though. What fucking difference does it make?
If it said the other person, that's the essential. It's like saying, yes, you know what we mean. A wink and a nod.
But that would be legally. Again, it's such hair splitting legally in terms of what they can say, the redactions, the not redactions. If she wasn't also under, if she wasn't also being tried by that jury or in front of that jury, then it would have been fine for those names to come out.
Wild.
So it's insane. So she didn't testify during this trial here, denying, or he didn't testify here, denying him the opportunity to confront her in court, basically, because he didn't testify at the last one. Right. So they're saying he didn't testify, but they had him on tape saying it was me. So that's bullshit. If he wants to testify, he can testify. It's unfair. And she ends up, like I said, they toss it all. Her attorney said, "I'm pleased with the fact that the conviction has gone away and she's going to be taken off death row." Now, in the dissenting opinion, the 4-1, this was Justice Michael Eakin. He wrote that the admission of the confession was harmless in light of the overwhelming properly admitted evidence establishing appellant's guilt.
Yeah.
It's like, that was so, it's not like they were like, I was on the fence until I heard that name said. We got it. We understood.
It's like having a rape trial and you're like, there's semen and blood and they got a tape saying he did it. That's what you want. Toss.
That's what you want. Fine. Great.
We'll toss it. Semen and blood. Get back in your room.
There you go, asshole. So 2007, she awaits a new trial.
Yeah.
The state Supreme Court orders a new trial based on this argument. July 2009, she tries to get the murder charge tossed completely. She's trying to get the murder charge tossed, Beth is. July 2009, Cumberland County Judge Edward Guido. Eddie Guido, how you doing?
Of course it is.
He refuses to dismiss the murder charge there, and in the state Superior Court denied a request to review that appeal. So they end up that there's going to be a new case coming up. December 2009 is Whisman's appeal, and he's saying, his thing is kidnapping was bullshit. That's him, what he's saying. This kidnapping thing is, what are we talking about here? Jesus Christ. He said there's no evidence that Leslie was confined for a substantial period in a place of isolation. You tied her up.
She's tied up in
She's not allowed to leave. Yeah. She didn't ask to be tied up.
Right.
That's different. In the appeal, they said that they found in Beth's appeal, the determination of a substantial period subsumes not only the exact duration of confinement, but also whether the restraint by its nature was criminally significant and that increased risk of harm to the victim. They said that basically it was undisputed that Leslie was not immediately killed after being tied up and was left alone in the trailer while they went outside to smoke cigarettes and discuss the plan. Had White not been confined, she might have tried to escape or cry for help.
Possible.
I would say probably, probable, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So, they said also the confinement period was also sufficient to cause increased risk of harm due to the oxygen blockage from the rag in her throat. So all of this is absolutely right here. They say that she was confined in a place of isolation for a substantial period. They said that he bound her hands and all this sort of thing. The evidence was sufficient to support the kidnapping conviction. He also asserts that there was insufficient evidence of conspiracy to commit kidnapping because he didn't plan to kidnap the victim. What the fuck? So they said, yeah, no, you're good. You kidnapped her.
You made a phone call.
You went
home. You waited on her.
You're a super big asshole is what we're getting at here. So they do all of this after he's killed. After White was killed, both explained how they concealed the body and left Pennsylvania. You were a willing and active participant. Now they go to also hear mitigation presented at another hearing that he had. Because he had a hearing saying to see if his lawyer didn't present mitigation as well as they should have that we talked about.
We got 36 pages, man.
Dude, yeah. Well, they have more here. They do more trying to get mitigation. Testimony of Kathleen Cabe, who's an investigator and mitigation specialist with the Federal Public Defender's Office. She said she met with Whisman, reviewed all of his shit. Basically, she explained explain that when he was born, Houseman lived with his mother, Geneva, his father, Howard, 3 half-siblings. Howard's father, mother described him as a drunk, and then as a crazy person. Howard described Geneva as, quote, a drunk who was always with different men. Ooh. The mother. Cabe explained that Geneva was afraid of Howard because in addition to being physically abusive to the children, he also abused her. When William was 4 years old, his half-sister Cheryl, this is the sexual abuse part, they bring all of that up, leaving him behind. Approximately 1 year later, though, we didn't get into this part, after all of his siblings left and he was left with his father and without his mother, 1 year later, his mother Geneva kidnapped him from the father and sent him and Cheryl to Virginia to live with their aunt and uncle, Geneva's sister and brother-in-law. Holy shit. After the uncle that they sent them to,
of course,
began to sexually abuse Cheryl.
God damn it.
Fuck. Cheryl begged her mother to send her and Houseman to their grandfather's house, which she finally did. Cheryl and William lived with their grandfather for less than a year. They were happy, and then he had a stroke and died.
Oh, no.
So Cheryl and Houseman then moved back into a home with Geneva and her boyfriend at the time, where Houseman stayed till he was almost 10, at which point he then was shipped back to Howard, his father, and Howard's new wife, Doris. And then basically his father, when Houseman showed up at his father's home, his father said that he was filthy, lacked basic hygiene skills and manners, and his clothes were ragged. Like he looked like he'd been out in a field. One day when Houseman was 11 years old, he came to find Doris in the bathtub after she attempted to commit suicide. Jeez. He found her there. Doris attempted suicide a second time when he was 14 years old as well, and he knew about that. He remained with his father and stepmother until he was 16, and then returned to live with his mother and a different boyfriend for another year. At age 17, he returned home again to his father and stepmother. Holy shit.
The fact that he had a job at Walmart and they trusted him to assemble bicycles, he may as well have been CEO at that point.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Unbelievable that he's gotten this far in life.
Harrowing.
Wow.
Cabe also testified that Houseman reported that he had been sexually abused by his stepmother Doris's cousin's son. Gross. And Doris confirms this as well to the doctor. Cabe noted that Houseman also told her he had been physically abused by both his father and Doris described that abuse in an affidavit, which states this. Sometimes I had to beat Bill because of his behavior. I remember one time I was so angry at Bill that I took out a metal yardstick and beat him until the stick was bent double.
My Christ.
I didn't like to do it, but you have to discipline children or they won't listen and learn.
With iron.
They'll also not kill people if you don't do that. That's the other, or they might not. They're less likely to kill people if you don't do this.
A little more apt to if you beat them with metal.
She said, this is a woman, by the way, this is Doris. That's how I learned. My daddy would beat me with hickory sticks until my legs were raw when I did something wrong.
And I'm fine. I just lay in bathtubs and open veins.
Try to open veins
Jesus.
And beat children.
What the fuck?
So that's fine.
I'm managing, so he could handle it.
It's fucking...
What the shit, man?
She then says, when Bill got to Greenville Tech, he started skipping school all the time. I would drop him off, but he wouldn't even go to class. When his daddy found out about him not going to school, he got crazy angry. Howard told me to leave for a bit. And when I returned, Bill had the imprint of a six-pack cooler where his daddy had whooped him upside the head as punishment.
The imprint of the cooler.
He beat him with a cooler.
Wow.
Bill was dazed and sick from the beating, but then he still didn't go back to school.
No, Mama, that's called a concussion.
That's a concussion.
Jesus
That's what that is.
Christ.
He was throwing up.
The kid was... Wow. He was literally beaten senseless.
Beaten in a fucking silliness.
Unbelievable.
So, and that was Doris in 2013. She said that. She also indicated that when he was in his late teens, he moved to Virginia to stay with his older brother Lee, who reportedly, quote, regularly beat him, and on one occasion, quote, beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's why he came back.
His dad does it too.
This is interesting. Cheryl also testified here again, the sister, in greater detail. She testifies that Houseman's father, Howard, who was referred to by the nickname Crazy because of the crazy and mean and awful things he did to her siblings.
Solid nickname.
Yeah, I guess it's perfect nickname. Crazy.
I really love a good
Crazy's
nickname.
home. It's apt as fuck.
I had a friend in school named Jesse Gartens, and some 8th grade genius figured out that Gartens spelled backwards spells snot rag.
We've talked about the snot rag.
Nobody ever called him Jesse ever again.
No, it was, hey, snot rag. You're fucked. I had a friend named Shitbag, so it's not... It's just because he brought a big paper bag with his lunch in it, and when everybody was done with their garbage, they'd all put it in his bag, and he'd throw it out because it was big enough. So
he was shitbag.
He was shitbags. That happened in like the 7th grade.
For no bad reason.
I ran into him when I was 25. I went back home. Everyone still calls him shitbags. Everyone. Not even shitbag. Shits is his nickname. What's up, Shits? Everyone's like, yo, Shits, what's up, dude? Everyone calls him Shits and shitbag. But Shits is his name. What's up, Shits? And he's just like, what's up, dude? Like, that's his name. He doesn't even fight it. Doesn't even fight it.
Jesse's in his 40s today. I hope everybody calls him snot rag.
I know everyone still calls him Shits. His kids probably call him Shits. We'll put it that way.
Unbelievable.
So, she testified about Crazy because of the things he'd do to his siblings, and that he had fallen off a building and had a steel plate in his head as well. She described that Howard made her put Half Moon ice tray. Oh, my God.
What?
Oh my! I missed this in the my research, and it's fucking horrible. Buckle up or skip ahead 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Howard made her put Half Moon ice trays in her vagina until she bled, and then laughed when she cried because of the pain, and poured buckets of water over her head.
What?
That is one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard.
He did that to his wife?
To his stepdaughter.
Oh, sweet Christ.
Not to his wife.
What the fuck,
To
man?
his stepdaughter, a child. Not to his wife.
Oh.
Which, not like it's fine if he does it to his wife, but this is a child.
You know those Half Moon ice trays are?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
It's disgusting. She also stated that in the winter, Howard would lock her outside while she was undressed and make her run around the outside of the trailer, and then would hang her upside down with her head in the toilet.
That man's a monster.
He's a fucking psychopath monster.
I hope he died a horribly, horribly painful death.
Wow, what a fucking awful person.
I hope he had a heart attack and couldn't get to the phone, and it was a small one.
Oh, yeah, and he just suffered on the floor.
And then it just erupted 5 days later.
What a piece of shit.
What a garbage human being.
She explained that if she didn't eat dinner, she'd have to go stand in the corner and on one foot until it was time to go to bed. That's how that was. And according to Cheryl, the children were not allowed to eat food from the refrigerator, and Howard counted the slices of lunch meat every day. If one was missing, all the children were punished.
I hate him. I absolutely hate him.
Epitome of an abusive psychopath who's got a little weird fiefdom with his children that he's going to fucking torture them and torment them and shit.
Why?
To do this shit to them.
But why would you? You don't want them. You don't like them.
Think about this. What happened to Howard?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Whoa.
It has to be super.
Not as an excuse or anything, but I'm just out of curiosity. Yeah. What the fuck put this in his head?
That doesn't make him not deserve jail.
No,
just whoever he was around.
Yeah, what happened to his dad? Whoa.
I'm sure he has scars and burns from it.
It has to be.
Whatever it was.
Cheryl recounted the same instance that she described at the penalty hearing, where Howard repeatedly kicked her brother in the groin as he lay on the floor. She stated initially she didn't report the abuse to her mother because Howard threatened to kill her mother. So she's like, what the hell is she going to do about it?
And I believe him.
She also described an incident where Howard shoved her mother so hard that her mother broke her ankle and had to go to the hospital. The state Supreme Court upholds the death penalty against him anyway, and all of that. They affirm the verdict and the penalty and tell him to keep on fucking off. So October 2010, U.S. Supreme Court denies a petition to hear an appeal of his sentence as well. October 2010, though, Beth here, she is, I believe this is when she's still waiting for her retrial, she decides to plea instead.
Oh?
She's going to plea.
Save her own life.
Take the death penalty off the table, and she'll plea. She does. She apologizes to Leslie's parents as they look on. She said, quote, "I'm so sorry. I just hope that by me doing this today, it starts to give them some small sense of closure." And Judge Guido gives her, "You, ma'am, may fuck off and life without parole."
Okay.
So just no death penalty. So, Shawnee, Leslie's mother got to make statements in court saying that the last 10 years have been literally hell. Yeah. Last 4 years of appeals. We haven't taken a vacation in 10 years because there's always a new court date to attend. And she said, I want her to know what Leslie went through and what my family went through. And the father, George, he said that he was frustrated that the death penalty was off the table. He said, I don't feel that this is justice. If it was your daughter or son that was strangled in the way my daughter was, and the judge interrupted him and said, I have daughters, I can't pretend to know your loss. And so mandatory life without parole. Now, the judge says that it's his job to abide by the law, and life sentence is the law. And he says, quote, Beth Markman is going to a jail that has air conditioning, that has heat. She'll have clean sheets every night and food on the table. She has no care in the world. This is what the father said. I don't feel that's justice at all. The first ruling of the death penalty was just, not that she would die anytime soon, but just so she doesn't know what day she's going to die.
Yeah, and waking up every day knowing that one day they are. That's
what they want. Yeah. So out of court, though, they're really pissed. The mother says, quote, while she's sitting there watching cable TV in her jail cell, I want Beth Markman to know that every time she sees a McDonald's commercial, she'll never go through a drive-thru again. Is that a threat or a fucking...
Is that a congratulations?
That's what I mean. That sounds like but yeah, I get what you're saying. Sometimes you want a cheeseburger.
Sometimes.
Every time she sees an ocean scene, I want her to know that she'll never smell the ocean or feel the sand again. And if her daughter ever gives her a grandchild, I want her to know that she'll never rock them to sleep. Because Beth has a grandchild, has a daughter, by the way. She had a kid from a previous marriage.
Wow.
Yeah, she's 34 and a fuck up. You don't think she spit one out? Come on now. She's definitely going to have some kids. So, the whole thing, they said basically that they couldn't, the office had limited resources and they couldn't fight to keep getting the death penalty. Right. The mother was pissed. She said Leslie's case was no longer a priority. She just gets a plea deal. They gave Markman a plea deal because the county didn't have funding to fight all these cases and had to prioritize the cases. So yeah, that's how that goes. She says that, she's just upset, and the parents are very upset by the whole thing, which is understandable here. She says that she does support the death penalty because my 18-year-old daughter is the reason, taken from us too soon. And this is one of those cases, there is no doubt what happened. No. This isn't like one witness saw a guy walking through a parking lot and that's the thing that convicted him and then he's going to the death row. This is two people tortured a girl, did horrible shit, admitted it, definitely fucking did it.
Took 1000%.
Took pictures. Both talked about it separately. Right. There's no doubts in the world what happened here. Evidence, fingerprints, DNA under the finger. I mean, you don't get any more. This is fucking more open and shut than anything. So January 11, 2011, Governor Ed Rendell signs the execution warrants for 6 people, including William Houseman, who's then 35. What? But he has a hearing after the date that he's supposed to be executed, so it lapses the execution anyway and makes that one null and void.
Oh, no.
He's got to get another date and another date. That's how it works here. Now, March of 2020. Now, fucking 3 months ago, a Justice Todd, concluded an opinion saying that Houseman must receive a retrial on the death penalty.
What?
Because his defense attorney in 2001 was ineffective for not fully exploring factors that may have swayed the jury's verdict on whether to impose capital punishment. All that crazy shit I told you, that didn't come out originally. So they're saying he needs a re-sentencing, basically. Like, to come bring it out in appeals is one thing, but to have a sentencing hearing again, we present all of the shit in mitigation.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so that's what they're going to do, basically.
But we've fucking executed so many people without all of this shit.
Oh, all the time.
Who matter of fact, were exonerated after the fact. This is fucking crazy, and he wild. Certainly did it, and certainly deserves what he was in this way.
With. Yeah, no, it's so bad how many people are. We'll get into that another time, but.
My point.
That could go forever. Yeah. So the judge accepted the argument that the lawyer should have presented additional evidence regarding his inpatient hospital treatment for mental health issues, physical abuse by his child, by his father, stepmother, and others. all of this stuff here. So, yes, he must receive a partial retrial to decide whether he should be executed or what the fuck happened here. And basically, he is awaiting resentencing as we speak. The resentencing trial. It's going on sometime, I'm sure, this year.
Unbelievable.
I would assume. It's fucking crazy that all went down and that all happened. And yeah, I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
Hope they both catch COVID. I hate them.
You know what I mean? I can't stand them both. They both suck. They're both
monsters.
awful people.
Yes.
And yeah, they should have had that evidence there. And but fuck, man,
What about the dad? Where the fuck is he?
I don't know, but I hope he's dead.
I swear to God.
I just hope he's dead.
If he's breathing and just smiling every day.
Can you imagine if that guy's alive still? And he could be alive still.
Yeah.
I mean, because this guy's not that old. The guy, his dad's probably 70 maybe. He's not like he's a whatever. It's not like he's be 105 or anything. Right. I mean, Christ almighty.
And the parents of Leslie, I hope they got a fucking vacation, man. They deserve it.
It seems rough, man.
I wish I had a shitload of money. I'd make it happen.
I read a lot of interviews with Shawnee, with the mom, and she's just feel bad for this woman, man. Yeah. She lives with this. You can tell that she lives with this every day. Mm-hmm. You can totally tell whenever there's a new trial or a new hearing or something, and they interview her. You can tell it's just as raw,
still real,
and it's
still
not.
Happened.
Yeah, I don't know how it wouldn't be. No. And she's just you can tell she has a hard time. She struggles with it, and I feel terrible for her because obviously, and the father too.
Shit, yeah.
Because the mother's been more vocal in publications and things like that.
And that's his daughter, and he's going to feel like he let her down. Yeah. There's so much father anguish that goes, obviously mother too, but I mean, like as a dad of a little girl, you feel like you fucking let her down, and that's shitty. All because of this fucking.
And there are people that have been executed for such less things. Mm-hmm. People, by the way, especially lately, we've been asked, why don't you guys do small town murder cases ever with first of all, they say there's not a lot of black people in these cases. That I'll tell you right now, listen to the amount of percentage of black people in these small towns. Right. There's just less.
Right.
And the problem is a lot of the cases that I find, and especially the ones, sorry, South, but it's fucking true. Yeah. I'm talking about doing research of literally hundreds of cases. There are so many cases that I see in the South of
smidge questionable.
Not even a smidge, ridiculously questionable. Like basically, literally somebody robbed a store and shot the clerk, and one eyewitness said from across the parking lot they saw that black guy going into the store when they were leaving. So they're convicted over it.
Wow,
literally, and it's like an eyewitness, stranger on stranger eyewitness ID from 30 feet away, and someone's getting the death penalty for that with no other evidence. Like shit like that is like I don't know what to do with that. I honestly don't. Like,
it's hard to rail on that guy.
No, I can't. That's what I mean. I'm not going to make fun of him. And if we start down that road, that's a whole other show of shitty. I mean that's not funny. That's fucking just infuriating.
Yeah, we could do one of those where there's zero laughs.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
We just yell.
Yeah, we just yell a lot. So, and then another thing is what we were talking about before that would help. I think would help get rid of that is most departments, when they have a big board, like the homicide book, they have a big board with red and black ink. Sure. Black are cleared cases, red are open homicides.
This get your ass to work on these.
Yeah, homicide department, basically. If the second they make an arrest, they don't even have to be indicted by a grand jury. The second they make an arrest, that goes from a red name to a black name. Mm-hmm. That's a cleared case. Yeah. So they have a lot of incentive to arrest people and let the prosecutor sort it out later.
Right.
We think there's enough, whatever, fuck it. If they'll charge them if they want.
Make it black.
That's ridiculous. That we can't have that sort of shit. I think that would help that sort of thing being a lot, just getting it off the board. But that, everybody, is Newville, Pennsylvania. And what a wild roller coaster of a shit show that was.
That's gross.
Holy fuck, man. That was crazy. If you enjoyed that show, if it gave you something out of it, let us know about it. Get on Apple Podcast, that purple icon, give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. No. Say you're following instructions, say you're following directions, say it's dark in here and I'm very, very scared. It doesn't matter. Just do that and give us the 5 stars. Helps a lot on the business end. I don't know why. Right. Also, you can get 5 stars on Stitcher, I think, as well. That. You can do that. Helps us out. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports. And I mentioned it earlier. Crime and sports. Okay. This is episode 175. Let's say you've listened to 175 episodes of Small Town Murder. You can trust us. When we tell you something's funny, it's pretty funny. Listen to this week, Bernard Boileau, or whatever the hell his name is, Crime and Sports, the first 32 minutes. Give us 32 minutes. We've given you 175 episodes of tons of shit. 32 minutes, and try. If you don't like it after that, I don't care. You don't have to ever try again. I'll give you that. But check that out. Also, get all your merchandise, tickets to live shows, which will happen eventually. Right. I hope.
That's what we're told.
That's what we're told.
We're sworn.
That's what we're told. I don't know.
They say it.
So you could do all of that.
Say it a lot.
Why not? What the fuck? We'll find out. Everything small town murder and crime and sports related there, though. And also, you should listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie, which we do every Friday, and we're going to talk about Clueless this week. And Sarah will make fun of me for my teenage crush on Alicia Silverstone.
It's hilarious.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
I started that the other night and fell in love with Paul Rudd all over again.
Oh, God. That's fucking funny.
That guy is awesome.
What about the oh, God, what's her name? Her
Stacey?
friend. Fucking
oh,
D.
Yeah. Is it Stacy?
Stacy, yeah. Stacy.
I don't know her last name.
Oh, my God. I know her name. She's
a lunatic.
In everything.
Yeah.
She does not age.
No.
She plays we'll talk about it when I do Clueless, but never mind.
Her and Paul Rudd both. They look amazing.
It's wild. So listen
Stacey
to that.
Dash.
Stacey Dash.
Yahtzee.
Thank you. Stacey Dash.
Nailed
Jesus
it.
Christ.
How did I do
I'm like,
that?
Dash,
me?
yes.
You leaned on me for that?
It works. Sometimes it works, brother. So check that out. Also, check us out on social media. We are at Murder Small on Twitter and at Small Town Pod on Facebook and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Right. You can do that. If you want to be a hero of ours and also be a producer, and it's not just for us, you're going to get yourself some good bonus material. This week, by the way, crime and sports bonus material, which you'll have access to through this. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you get access to both shows' Patreon material. On crime and sports, we're reading personal ads from like 1990 in Texas, which are hilarious. Yeah. But on Small Town Murders this week coming out is really awesome. I found small town newspapers from the 1890s. Yeah. So first of all, the shit that's going on there is hilarious.
The events.
The crimes are hilarious. Their descriptions of everything are unbelievable, sexist, racist, crazy, fucking amazing. You have to hear it. They're wild shit. So listen to that. That's at the $5 or above level this week. It's a small town North Dakota newspaper in 1895. And then another couple I got from that area. So check that out. That's at the $5 or above level. You can do that. Everybody can at patreon.com/crime and sports. And we appreciate everything. Jimmy will mess your name up.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to make a one-time donation just for karma, you don't want anything out of it, but to just get a shout out and some good feeling in your heart and our best feelings from our heart. You can do that over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, which you can also use to get a hold of us if you feel like doing it that way. Now that that's all said, you know what? It's been a crazy day. I need something, Jimmy. I need to feel good. I need to feel warm inside. Give me the lists of my favorite people in the world who would never repeatedly kick me in the groin. Hit me with them, Jimmy.
This week's executive producers are Crystal Skules, Jane Blackbird, Brock with no last name, Dylan Height, Stephen Carlson, Annette P., Timothy Young, and Anna Chambers, Carmen Hernandez-Royce, Jules Harris, Asteri Wolf. It's one word. I don't know. Neil Jones, David Mall, Melissa Turner, Callie Shinkunis donated in honor of her mother who passed away this week, who instilled love of true crime and crude humor from a young age. Thank you,
awesome.
Callie. I'm really sorry.
Well, shit.
Hang in there. It's going to get better. I
promise. Sorry to hear that.
Chris Stanton, LOFC. I'm not sure what that stands for. Christina De Mello, Milo.
Something football club, LO.
Maybe.
They're into soccer.
I don't know. Tom Fairley. Kip Sousley updated hers. Thank you so much, Kip.
Thank you.
Under the Sea Fabrics, Serena D. Michael Humecki, Jeremy Ebert, Joanne Ahern, Drew Shockley, Isaac Smith, Jordan Bennett, Cedar House Yarns, Renee Malaco, I think, Brenda Wilson, Sarah Rodriguez, Harrison Dunham, Stacy Dingley, Monica Lemmings, Fran Hitsky in Australia. Thank you, Fran.
Thank you.
Jacob Dockery. Also, Jacob, take a look at your donation. Make sure that's right, please.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Caitlin Jablinski, Trisha Washington, and Jordan Covington. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We truly can't do it without you. It's
amazing. Not at all.
Other producers this week are Sandra Watkins, Daniel Pittard, Anna Kowalewski, damn it, Noah Farbs, Nia, Elijah Gillespie, Brian with no last name, Lindsey Berman, Jake Oldham, Josh Tunks, Bo Allison, Southern Fried Notions, Brandon Saunders, Debbie Murray, Rebecca Bibowd,
Vaughn Briner, Samantha Bird, Brandon Keibler, Cody Hewart, Jess Lara, Jackie Visnover, Wesley Bryant, Flavia with no last name, James Burns, Adam Spinks.
You went the distance on that one.
Samantha Bird, happy birthday. Leslie Chaplin, Adrian Gill, Ahmad Muhammad, Brian Skinner, Joe Traina, Sonia Hupfeld Cosino, no. Sarah with no last name, Jessica Voey or Voey. That's no, probably not. Aaron Utley, Rebecca Prowns, Robin Sherrill, Lisa Abel, Joel with no last name, Alex Hartman, Solomon World, Samantha Tooley, Eric Ginsel, A. Hannah, A. Mikash, William Littlefield, Jessica Dowd, Carol Chan, Luis Flores, Brittany and John Fellman, Sean War, Kimberly McCarthy, Shelley Ewanchuk, Joey Scarlett, Mike Richmond, David Whitman, Larissa Pavlov, Robert Lockwood, Michelle Chapman, Erica Foltz, Rose Perry, Jeff DeLuca, Scott Schaefer, Ryan Smalley, Autumn Meyer, Tristan Gray, Paige Spencer, Kaya Day Steele, Dylan Leahy, Alexandria Marie Rexach Werner, Jessica with no last name, Keith Cerny, Ben McDonough, Maggie with no last name, Katya with no last name, Zane Bohe, Zach Schaub's girlfriend Shy is having a tough one, so hang in there, Shy. It's going to get better.
Well, thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you very much. Shannon Dalio, Harmony Marie Bettenhausen, Tavon Tovin Parker, Stephen Ahern, MB with that's just initials. Erica Taro, Azaneeth, no. Richard Desmond, Amy Del Plato, Sarah Mahan, Jamie Maggiera, Courtney Brand, Danelle Desert Loges.
Okay.
Joe Bellegam. No. Carmen McClellan, Lisa MMX, Susanna Piero, Alex Step, Nadine Requejo, no. Chris Van, Weston Blake, Karen Lelm, Caleb Pratt, Hay P. Roy, Richard with no last name, Aaron Smuck, Connor Wotris, Evo Jusanis, I don't know what that is, Tavia with no last name, Phil Roos, I think it's double O's, double S's. That's impossible. Megan Tuarski, Leon with no last name, Debbie Peterson, RP, Sarah Lucchese, Andrea Burbank, Liz Brunner, Judy Brady, Kimberly Murphy, Maddie P, Emma Stanley, Yaku, Courtney Locker, Christopher Sunderhouse, Emily Bellinfonte. Damn it.
All right,
Chelsea Peoples. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. This is all I got. Travis Paul Johnson, Andrea Grell, Rosie Urkovich, Yesha Alexis, Tom Horning, Gareth Jones, Marla Perez, Joni Janovsky, Rebecca Clubb, Small Town Cunt. That's pretty easy.
Hey, all right, that's easy.
Breck Bennett, Craig Holt, Melissa Meiden, Clay with no last name, Taylor Kibling, Jess with no last name, Anthony Carlson, Patrick Jacobson, Zach with no last name, Ben Snit or Sate or Shit. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry, Ben. Alyssa Callan. Alyssa Callan. Kelly Mealer, Tabitha Lilly, Kendra with no last name, Andrew with no last name, Craig Dunford, Jonah Siegel, Tyler Barry, Caslin Johnson, Addison Tucker, Megan with no last name, Marissa Salta, Rachel Robbins, Jason with no last name, Jerry Stone, April Daniels, David Divjak, Shane McCain, Morgan Wood, Jacob Fuller, Leah Egan. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
The Egan sisters are around. Thank you. Patrick McNally, Jenna Pierce, Benny with no last name, Pat with no last name, Alexa Speed, Ryle Kittle. I think it's Kyle Riddle, and he switched some letters on purpose. Jen Inglis, Trenton Urbane, Tiffany Engel, Matt Toth, Amanda Caulfield, Jen Bernardi, Jamie with no last name, Richard Hahn, Eric Sinan, Amanda Hickling, Justine Power, Kedzie Arrington, Colleen McNulty, Anna Taylor. Taylor with no last name. No, Taylor L. That's what it is. Jarena Dickey, Chris Walkowski, I think. Alexandria with no last name. Stephanie, Swanwick. Ryan Brewer, Don Arnu, Jason Allen, Ryan Rodriguez, Drew Statham, Lisa Hilliard, Savannah Davis, Kara Bjorkquist, Conley, Dalton Sargent, Dyke Memes, again. That's pretty impressive. Taylor Morris, Heather Morrison, John Allen, Adam Reeves, Adam Apple, Michelle Neal, Lonnie Quirion, Isabel with no last name, Brad Kiesling, Josh Foltz, Jess with no last name, Maddie Rose, Eric Scherson, Emily Alween, Elizabeth Milbert, C. Lynn Cieslick, Barbara Miller, Joanna James, Lauren Sullivan, Matt Clark, Ernesto Ramiro, Roland Parr, Whitney Eskridge, Jason with no last name, Anne-Marie Wintermeyer, Noel Lopez, Sherry Supa, Max J, Matt Joy, Tracy Hicks, Robin Blindy, Sulik, no, David with no last name, Nick Gable, we're closing in on it, Ned McDermott, Joshua Schaefer, Kyle Alexander, Leon Fennessy, Vanessa with no last name, Ray Sanders, Stephanie Loftus, Savannah Lucera, Mara Spencieri, Mary Faust, thank you, Mary, Nicholas Walters, Farah Khan, Lindsay Martin, Alexi Gonzalez, Jason Edwards, Lauren Prince, Luke Beasley, 10FB, Jason Covert, Kyle Ondurko, Barbie Joe, Marissa Silic, Anthony Sims, Cody Holgate, Devin Heidbrecht, Rohan Rowan Bahaj. Sorry, Rohan. Lindsay Aronson, David Daniels, Teresa Arnold Pritchard, Ashley Tegeler, Audrey Helu, Jace Childers. By the way, Jace Childers is the guy that I talked about in the bonus episode that I did. And he donated to the show.
That's
Thank you so
that was
much,
awesome.
Jace.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Definitely.
Annie Martin, Jonathan Carcamo, Mike Vaccaro, Jessica Norton, Jana Dickens, Nell Mansilla, Rebecca Rose, Catachino, Brittany Cole, Mary Wenner, Marquita, Beth Rooney, Linda McNamara, Zoe Bonfonte, Chris Love, Matt McLean, Ash Lavati, Samantha Diffendaffer, Kimberly Murphy, Paul Vamos, Tamara Tromp, Anne-Marie Alb, Sarah West, the gentleman lover Andrew. No, that's what it is. It's Kimberly Murphy and her gentleman lover.
Oh, and
that's
her gentleman lover Andrew.
I'm sorry, Kimberly. Joanne Gillis, Annika, Amy Dawn, Lindsay Newman, Biff Thunderbeef, Isaac Smith, and his little man Nathan. Hang in there, you guys. That's... Fuck. I don't even... thank you so much. Keep going, Nathan. Raise that little guy strong. And Shane Strikeleather, thank you very much. Christian Nieto, Alex Hammonds, Kevin Bartlett, Jess Bozio, Amy Dawn, Julie Stoltz, Aaron Tammy, Stella Pierce, Anel Kurtik, Enel.
Anal?
I'm terrible at this. It
Anal
can't be
kerchief?
anal. No, that can't.
Did you say anal kerchief?
No, it's anal Kurtik.
Oh,
Curtis?
God, I swear to God, I don't know where I thought you said anal kerchief.
That's
I was like,
thing.
wow, how do you do that?
Amber Martin, Louise Rayfield,
It's tough to tie
John
them up.
Williams. It's a balloon knot.
It's a balloon knot.
Marla Happany, Mackenzie Haroon, Janice Hill, Tyson Gibaver. I don't know if that's a U or a V. Adrian Kometz, Christopher Oliphant, Stephen Hanna, Catherine Judd, Richard Lawrence, Kim Klein is Jackie Sukup's favorite cousin. Thank you very much. Brian Johnson and his wife Liz are celebrating 9 years of marriage by donating to us.
Hey, thank you. Congratulations.
Alyssa Callan is in South Korea. Nay Hillier, Lewis Tidrick, or Kaz Tidrick. I'm trying my best. Anthony Francis, Deanna Grimes, Nathan and Cleo Calabrivis McAllister, Liz Vasquez, Jackie Sukup, Sarah, sorry. Sarah Webb, Susanna Platt, Christine Leischel, Sam Powell, Timothy Young donated both ways. Thank you, Timothy. Katrina Matichik, I think, Gregory Burr, Amanda Knight, Gary Howard. Thanks, Gary. Kelly Parsons, Stacy Ingram, Peyton Meadows, Sarah Minto. I think it's Minto. I don't know what I did. Cindy Wilkin. Stacey Ingram said that. Vera Balmer, Jude Kendall, James Martyr, Patrick O'Hare, Ashley Vio, Rebecca Beatty, Shelley Roberts from Gun Barrel, Texas.
Oh,
thank you very much.
You.
Krista Walker, Joanne Bologna. Bologna? It's Italian. Carl
Which
Kirshner.
means you said it wrong, guaranteed.
Isabel Mankey, Thomas Smith, Graham Wilson, and Carl Kirshner. You guys, thank you so much, and all of our Patreon supporters. We can't do this without you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. God damn it, we can't do this without you, and we really appreciate you guys. We said it before, we'll say it again. You've changed our fucking lives, so thank you so much for that.
I don't know many podcasts that give their gratitude as much as we do.
Fuck,
people.
man.
And really,
I hope everyone appreciates people as much as we do.
I don't think that we give enough, and we do our best to give you as much as we can. So really, thank you guys for everything that you do for us.
For everything, honestly. Thank you so much there. And what if they wanted to thank you? How could they do that, Jimmy?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Instagram and Twitter. And Ulysses Urania is married for 14 years on June 9th to Sylvana Urania, and he said thank you for those happy
I thought this had something to do with the case. Well,
no,
congratulations.
I missed those two.
I don't remember that name.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
And happy anniversary.
Awesome.
Where can they find you and tell you happy anniversary?
I am at Jimmy P is funny. Tell me happy birthday if you want, I guess.
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
happening this
birthday's
week.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Shit.
it is.
Friday. You could find me at Jimmy P is funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description. Make it easy on yourselves. That said, everybody, wild case. Thanks for hanging out with us again it's almost halfway through the year. Thanks for hanging out with us for another half a year. Yeah. We really, really appreciate it. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.